Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, with the side. But I just rob you on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in tempo. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the things we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base, like the link, Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's airspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Salute everybody. Salute. What's going on? What's good? Knicks real talk. Let's get it. We in the building. Divine, Shaw Powell in the building with me, man. Salute to KJ events. Hopefully get in the building with us later. We're going to get it down and break down the Summer League thing, man. Knicks took an L today, but we live to fight another day going on in the future, man. So we're going to get into all that and break it all down. But first and foremost, let me holler at my partner, Shaw Powell. Shaw Powell, what's up?
Salute Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah. Real talk, everybody. Agile, I know, man. Knicks had a Summer League championship game today. We came up a little short today, man. 77-85. Good effort, man. But Portland came out to play. Salute to the Portland Trail Blazers, man. They came out. Wofford, Walker, Williams, and guys was playing pretty hard. And they really was scrapping today, man. I think the best team won today. So salute to the Portland Trail Blazers, Summer League team for winning that championship thing. I was definitely rooting for our guys all the way to the end, man. But them guys were pretty aggressive. Shot power. They were tenacity was unbelievable. It was all over the place, and Wofford was a handful. And then you see, like in this Summer League game, the second year player was the one dominating pretty much. Even on the Knicks side, Sims, Jericho and Jericho Sims, McBride, Grimes played on in the game, and Wofford on the other side, and them guys were playing pretty hard, man. But Portland Trailblazers had a little bit too much for us today.
Yeah, salute Divine. Yeah, the one thing that I noticed, the big thing that they did to us in the first game is they really out-rebounded us, man. Second chance points and out-rebounded us, man. And that really killed the most. A lot of the times when we were trying to make a comeback, they stunt our momentum and stuff like that. Second chance points, they just couldn't get to the ball when they went to the rim a couple of times towards the end of the game and couldn't make baskets, and then to come down and they miss a shot and they get the rebound and then they would make a shot. So that really took a little steam out of the New York Knicks today. But it is what it is. They went out there and played fair, man, and it was a good game. And they went out and tried to play. Another thing, I think maybe it was me. I think Grimes went out today and he tried to be I don't want to say the man, but he tried to be. He was striving for something. If we would have won tonight, he more than likely would have probably got the most valuable player award, or if they had one. But I'm pretty sure he would probably been quote unquote in that category or something like that. So he shot a little bit more, and he didn't make all his threes like he usually does. And I think that was another catalyst for us to maybe not make it over the top.
Yeah, real talk. I agree. It was like I said, them guys, Chauncey Billups, he's setting the culture down there in Portland. Them guys were scrapping pretty hard, man. They really were, man. And like you said, Grimes, you know what? And now, if you look on some, Grimes still had a great summer league. Then he came up short in the big game, and he didn't really come up short. It's just that he played against a better defensive team who put more pressure on him than normally. Than a lot of other guys. Because you think about it, a lot of other Knicks players didn't have it. Ferry Hunt, he was all right. But all the other guys, that goes to show you what's different to being an NBA ball player and being just a dude coming out of college to try to get to the NBA. See, that's why the second-year players having the ones that really succeed in the summer league, opposed to the guys who just coming out of college or wherever they're coming from to get to the NBA. You can see the difference in the competition they're used to playing. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Grimes, McBride, and Sims the one had the good game for the Knicks. Everybody else didn't have it. You know, Porter did all right. You know what I mean? But you know, that just shows you the level of competition where you got to get to. And, you know, as much as we talk about the Monteros and talk about all these guys, they ain't ready yet. You know what I mean? That's why they were drafted where they were drafted at. You know what I mean? They got promise, but they still, you know, compared to what Grimes, McBride, and them used to, them guys have never seen it. You know what I mean? And I think Portland was playing that type of style of basketball today. Salute Dave in, salute. Appreciate you, Dave, coming in, man. Real talk. But I think you see the level of competition when it comes to the NBA and summer league and coming out of college. And, you know, because like I said, the second year players are the ones who's really holding it down, and all the other guys really didn't have it. You know, from what my standpoint is the way I watched that game unfold. Yeah. Your mic, I can't hear you. Shall you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, but I was saying, man, the way that game unfolded was the second year player with the ones really playing. The first year guys, they just didn't have it. You know what I mean? I think pressure. You know what I mean? A little bit of pressure at that game, man, to try to play for that chip. No matter what level you playing on, the chip is the chip. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's college or whatever. When you're trying to win something, you know the pressure comes, and but that's the part about growth and development. So it is what it is. I'm still excited about what the Knicks did. I like what they did this summer, man. They came out, the young boy competed all summer long. Their defense looked real well. I'm hoping that defense carry over into the NBA, you know, our major team up there at MSG, man, and bring that same defense tenacity up to the main club, and maybe that'll help them out this year, man. Because I think the defense was overall one of the best things they did this year in summer league.
Yeah, I definitely can see some of the plays that was implemented by oh man, I was about to mess it up. Yakimoko, I messed his name up. That he implemented today could possibly be some of the schemes that we'll see in the NBA on the bigger level. You know, some of the multiple weaves that they run, the high pick and roll and slash to the basket and stuff like that. So I see some of those things being implemented into the New York Knicks team as well. So like I said, man, it was a good game, man. They tried to come out there, they just couldn't get over the speed bump and stuff like that. And we really did. I don't know what the stats was, but just by eye, I just seen that they were getting out rebounded and more second chance points for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give, like I said, you got to give Portland their flowers, man. They came out, they did the thing, man. They was playing hard from the door, and they actually beat us twice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you know, and they just got that Chauncey Billups DNA all in them. You know what I mean? You know, Chauncey Billups played like that when he was in the NBA. You know, and it's good for them though. But I'm proud of what the Knicks did, man. All of them. Jericho Sims, I'm proud of what his maturation. I'm proud of Grimes' maturation. You know, and you know, McBride and all of them. But now comes the big test now, because now, you know, sometimes you wonder with all this trade speculation going on, did that bother them? You know what I mean? Knowing that they don't know if they're going to be here with this Donovan Mitchell thing. Maybe they did, and their mind could have been, you know. But you know what? Now that, you know, that this part of the season over, which is actually the beginning, Summer League is the beginning of the beginning. So we got out of this stage, and some positive and negative came out of it. But I seen a lot of positive, you know what I mean? And I really did. So I see what Jericho Sims could do. You know, granted, and I still think to this day he got all the athleticism in the world, but he still got things that he needs to get better as he move on in his career. You know, and that's why he was a 58 pick. The man could jump out the gym. He got a lot of good moves with the ball for him to be I love the way I think he would do the Knicks well at the power forward spot. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think he salute to KJ. Yeah, man. Enjoy your reunion, my brother. Real talk, man. Keep it going, man. I seen your pictures out there, KJ.
All right.
He is, man, the brother out there doing his thing. So salute. But what was impressive to me was I can see what he could do with a basketball. I think Jericho Sims would be a nice power forward once he keep working on his game. You don't have to be a 3-point shooting power forward, but I think he could bang with a lot of forwards down there. And I think, you know, he'll make a difference with Hartenstein and Mitchell Roberts. So I was happy about his maturation. McBride saw like he was trying to get to the paint more than he ever did since I've been watching him. That was pretty good, because that's one of the things that might hold him back moving forward if you don't get to that cup enough. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why people see what maybe Tibbs didn't start him a lot last year, because he didn't master that downhill thing yet, where you could break down the defense to get in there and then distribute the ball, you know, whichever way you need to, or get your layup or whatever. And I think that's going to be the next maturation in his game. McBride got to get in that hole, and Sims I was happy with. Not Sims. I meant to say, Quentin Grimes. Regardless of what happened today, I was happy with his summer league, bro. I think it's going to be hard. I think the Knicks gonna be hard to try to trade him in that Mitchell trade. I think that's gonna be one player that they might try to avoid having to give up to the Utah Jazz if this thing takes place with Donovan Mitchell. I think they're gonna try to hold on to Quentin Grimes as much as they can. Be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm leaning right there with you, Divine. The way he played and the way he's starting to project himself. I said earlier that I think he's going to be one of those bright lights in the dark fog this year and stuff like that. I think he's going to be one of those guys that really shines this year, and I will hope that they could try to renegotiate. As I hear, our rebuttal back to the Jazz was, we'll give you 6 picks, and we won't talk about players right now. Let that settle on you. We'll offer you 6 picks. We'll offer you 6 picks, and we'll discuss a little later in time of who are more willing to trade with the 6 picks. So in that case, if they offer 6 picks to make the salary, they have to offer one of the bigger contracts like a Fournier or a D Rose. Then more than likely it'll probably be Fournier. And then you have to figure out which 2 or 3 young guys that you're going to give up in the trade. You know what I mean? But it's a 6 picks out there that they're offering right now. 6 first-round picks. I'm pretty sure it's going to probably be 4 picks that they just picked up, and maybe two of our first-round picks or something like that. To make them unprotected, and then we just now the thing is who are we going to put in the trade? But I believe Evan Fournier is the biggest piece of money that we get out there, aside from Julius Randle, which I don't think he's going to go in that trade that we got on our team. So far, 6 picks in Evan Fournier. Let's see where we go from there.
Yeah. Just to answer KJ the question, KJ, I think it should be. I think it's the right thing to do to put McBride in that trade. I not because I just think that with the way the Knicks is probably constructed, I think if you do the 6 picks like you said, and if it's D Rose or Fournier, you have to do Grimes there because here's the Cam Reddish thing. I don't know if Utah want him because he's due for an extension. Maybe that's what's holding him. I don't know if Cam Reddish and RJ. I know they obviously not doing RJ. That might be the hold up with Cam Reddish because are they going to sign him if they trade for him in this package? Do they take Cam Reddish and extend him? Or they say they just want the picks? I mean, Danny Ainge might just really want to get the picks. He's going to move a lot of players, but I do think that some of the guys on some of the leagues, like for me, Shaw Powers, Obi Toppin, Quickly and Grimes. If the Knicks got to give up 6 picks to lead them cats on the team, then I'm all good with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I really believe Grimes, Quickly, and Obi Toppin might be them guys that if the Knicks can hold on to them, then I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I mean? Because you first of all, their contracts are good and they talent. Like Quickly and Grimes for $2 million and change. You can't really. It's hard to get that up. You know what I mean? But I know you got to get D Mitchell. You're going to have to. That the results going to tell you by the way the game was played today. See, people like they don't want to give what they allow them young players, but look what them young players did today. You know what I mean? Other than the 3 I'm talking about, other than McBride, the rest of them, they kills all of them. They still got a way to go. They just get into the NBA. They haven't even faced a level of competition in their career like these cats that's up in the NBA. So for me, I think if you can hold on, I like the Obi and Amanda. I just think that dynamic works. I think they got a good rapport together. They can score a lot of points for the Knicks. They can push the pace for the Knicks, and fast break points and so on and so on. And I just think them guys do well by us being on a team with Quentin Grimes. But like I said, because I think everybody else, I think we needed to try to hold on to them. But I think D Rose, that's a good contract for them with the 6 picks and with McBride. So if you ask me who I'm leaning with, if they did decide to do this trade, it's pretty much for me is if you could do Fournier or Rose, or both of them with with McBride and the 6 picks, I think that's the way the Knicks should go personally, because I think everybody else can contribute to what we doing this year and make that a better team.
Yeah, I'm semi right there with you because I'm looking on the standpoint of how Portland might try to want to play it because Reddish contract, he has has a $6 million contract for this year, isn't it?
$5 million and change.
Five and change. and next year is not guaranteed for him. So I think they may take a shot at Reddish. I think Reddish. I've been rethinking this the whole time. I think Reddish may. All right, first Fournier. I'm thinking now Deuce McBride, and I'm thinking um Reddish. So Fournier, Deuce McBride, Reddish,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Eva. It's going to be one of the other shooting guard. I mean, one of the other guards, either D Rose or IQ. And either one of those two, I don't want to trade either one of them. But if I have to choose between the one, I think I may want to hold on to IQ, but I don't think I don't know. And D Rose is an aspiring contract as well. So I think it's going to be four. I hope that they can maneuver it. Whereas McBride, Fournier, Cam Reddish, maybe, and maybe IQ. I think maybe they could try to. I mean, I keep getting mixed up, but four guys plus the six picks in total, almost a full roster right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like what like JW said. If you could take IQ out of there, I'd rather take IQ out of there and give him 6 picks or 7 picks. Here's I'll tell you why.
I said that.
Good, yeah, good as we gonna be with the team we have, those picks gonna be all the way down and up. They're
Exactly.
gonna be low picks. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't have a problem getting up the draft picks because we ain't drafting like we're gonna be drafting in the top 10 or nothing with the team that we assembled. We assembled a good team here, and I think they're gonna be pretty decent. So them picks that we're not willing to give up, they might be somewhere that they might them picks might not amount to being better than nobody that's on a roster now because you're not getting one of the top guys. You know what I mean? The two main dudes coming out of there. So I do think I do think salute Craig, salute to the chat, man, salute to everybody. Appreciate y'all coming in. I know it's kind of like a down day. We lost the game, but we live. Still we got to give our guys some credit, man. They play hard summer league, so let's hope that they just take this as a learning process and get better at their game. Get ready to go into training camp and battle whoever going to be here. If all the stuff that we talking about go down and come to fruition, we know that the down the mental thing is hanging heavy over the organization. So, a lot of these guys that could have been a part, like Keith Turner said, it could have been kind of that feeling for Brian, like, man, this trade thing, am I going to be in Utah? That stuff weighs heavy on young guys' mind like that. So, who knows? Not saying that's the case, but we got to give, like I said, to me, give Portland their flowers. Portland, they just out-hustled us today. They out-hustled us. Them cats were scrapping. They had nothing for Wofford. They had nothing for Williams. They had nothing for Walker. They just got out. They were the better team won, man. Don't mean the Knicks team wasn't good. They just got beat by a better team because they beat them twice this year already in summer league. But for me, I'm with you, Shop Powell. I do think that I'm willing to go ahead and give up, even if it's 6 picks, because them picks would not amount to too much for us. Because I don't, the way we construct it right now with Jalen Brunson, if we get Spider, Julius Randle, all these guys on the contract for 4 years. I mean, Obi and them gonna have 2 years left before their contracts come up if he's still here. If Quickly's still here, his contract come up in 2 years. So I think we got enough young talent to blend with where we at. So yeah, I do think that but I do think Deuce. I like Deuce. I just think that what's gonna hinder him is going downhill. And this was, you got to remember, guys, this was against summer league competition. You know what I mean? So and with D Rose still here, Brunson, Spider can even play the one sometime. Quickly could play the one sometime. I don't see where there's going to be room for McBride on the Knicks roster because we got so many combo guards who could play the one and the two. I just wonder how it's going to be for him, and I think that somebody with a contract like that might be good at throwing there with Fournier or whoever if that's what Utah wants. But Utah's main goal is to get them picks. Obviously, you know what I mean. So we'll see, man. But this just a start of it, man. But I'm happy with what I've seen. Like I can't say that enough. I like the direction the Knicks is going. If we can land Donovan Mitchell, we have to do that because I think we got to understand something. This is a talent-driven league. You know what I mean? And much as we want to say, we like this and that, but this is also a talent-driven league. And Donovan Mitchell with R.J. Barrett is talent. You know what I mean? And Jalen Brunson is talent. So. I mean, I understand, how Cat feel, but the young people, but we got enough young ones. It's not like we giving up young guys and taking that old guy. Donovan Mitchell is young. You know what I mean? Shop Power, he's young. Brunson's young. A lot of these guys is young. So it's not like you getting rid of young talent to get old talent. You know, you're getting guys like Obi Toppin. My man is only a year younger than 2 younger than Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean, and things like that. So I think we're pretty good there. I just think that no matter what, I would love to keep Grimes. I think he's gonna be special. You know, I think he's gonna be a really good dude, man. Obviously, you know, if we don't move Cam, so be it. I like him too, but it's interesting, man. These next couple of weeks, next month, it's gonna be interesting because I don't think they're gonna go into training camp. You know, this thing should be resolved sooner than later. I think, put it like that. Chop Howard. I don't think they're gonna go into training camp without the Donovan Mitchell thing decided if he's coming to New York.
I want to say two things too, man. I just want everyone to understand, like, about this Donovan Mitchell trade. You know, everyone, you know, there's like a 50-50 battle going on amongst him coming here and not and stuff like that. And I just want to say, I want the Knicks to be a good team. I finally want to see the Knicks progress every year. I want to see them, if they go this year and win 57 games and make the play-in and win and advance into the playoffs, I'm happy with that. Next year, we move into the sixth spot where we don't have to play in and move into the second round and play a hard second round. By these next 2 years, some of the players that are not making that extra strive to make this team better are on the chopper block. You know, it's for, you know, just, you know, to say out there, if Randall is not doing what he's supposed to, he's on the trading block, you know, and so on and so forth. And the second thing I'll come back to because I forgot what I was about to say.
Yep. I got. Hey, yeah, but I'm with Keith on that as well. If Grimes, Big Brian, I have no problem with Grimes. I would love to hold on to him, but I would not let Quentin
Oh,
Grimes pull up a Donovan Mitchell trade. You know what I mean? Let's not get
I
it
got you.
twisted. You know what I mean? Because I do think we do got Cam Reddish down there. And one thing I noticed about that, let's say we keep Cam Reddish, and in some way you were able to move Derrick Rose or somebody for maybe a pick or something, and now you take Derrick Rose 13 million, give it to Cam Reddish next year. You know what I mean? So we still can keep Cam Reddish in the fold, which I would love to, because I think him backing up RJ is gonna be crazy this year with that team. Knicks got a good team down there. You go position by position, they got a good team. Once you bring Donovan Mitchell in here, and then you extractivate the guys that we're not doing think gonna be here, like Keith said, maybe the Grimes, McBride, Fournier, or whoever. I think Knicks got a solid team, man. You know, I really do. So I'm hoping that they can keep put like this here. If you can if you have to lose Grimes to get Donovan Mitchell, you have to lose them. But if you be able to keep Cam Reddish in that without in that deal, I think you got a good thing going here.
And to piggyback right off what you said, because now I remember since you said it, if the offer, because I said this the other day in some chats out there on the podcast, and people were coming at me, 7 picks. One, I wanted to pick up Malik Beasley on from off of their team. I wanted Spider Malik Beasley
Shoot the ball.
for 7 picks plus. All right, to get off of that before I even forget what I was going to say again. Evan Fournier is one of the pieces that probably is going to be in this trade. With Knicks family, would you rather do trade off with Evan Fournier, Grimes and Deuce, or would you rather trade off IQ and Obi? That's probably the way I'm looking at it. If we're gonna send two of our young players over there plus Evan Fournier, the 4 guys that are possible that everybody's talking about is IQ, Deuce McBride now, Obi Toppin, and IQ. If you had a chance or some way to say something about who would you move, would it be Fournier with IQ and Obi, or would it be Fournier with Grimes and Deuce McBride?
I gotta go Grimes and Deuce McBride all day.
Grimes and Deuce McBride.
I just think that because first of all, McBride is not on Quickly's level, you know, and I think Grimes, Obi is a special dude, but I think that's gonna be hard for Leon Rose to move on for Obi Toppin. That was his draft pick there. You know what I mean? That was Leon Rose's draft pick right there, Obi Toppin. So yeah, you're right. Age of Super Argo. I think Fournier and that crew can go. No pun intended, but I love all the Knicks. But right now, I definitely had to get up out of there with that. You know what I mean? I think the Knicks got a bunch of solid dudes down there, man. I don't think Evan Fournier is even necessary. I like Cam Reddish coming off the bench behind R.J. Barrett, 6'8", good size, all around player. And you know what? Hey, Dave, I thought about that. Only thing that had me hesitant, Dave, was do you think because of that inspiring, does Danny Ainge want that? That's he. I mean, he would take it. Obviously, I don't think it'd be a deal breaker, but you know, I wonder if Ainge just want to do like he did. He just want nothing but straight picks. You know what I mean? He probably don't even want to take on no cap, but you're gonna have to eventually. They reach a certain cap level. But that's a good point, Dave. I'm not sure. I think you might have to if Danny Ainge want him. But if that's the case, so be it. I don't care who they are. For Donovan Mitchell, you have to give up whatever you got to do. Out of them young cats, you know what I mean? Because obviously none of them cats we talking about going to reach down at the Mitchell level, and that's what a lot of Knicks fans need to understand. We talking about we don't want to give up certain guys. A lot of these guys we talking about giving up is never going to reach his level. They're not going to reach Donovan Mitchell level. So you know, and that's why I'm not. I don't want to say they would never. It's certain one I don't think would be Donovan Mitchell. Put it like that. I don't think McBride will ever be there. I don't think Grimes will ever be on Donovan Mitchell level. And I like Grimes. I like the way he played. Cam Reddish, he gonna be a good player. I hate to really give up on him. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I agree with you, Keith. He probably is going.
That might be the sweetener. That might be the piece that's the sweetener, because I think we could get away with Evan Fournier, Evan Fournier, Grimes, and Deuce with 7 first-round picks. I think we could get away with that. I think those 3 people, 20 as 5, 7, 9. We might have to throw in Camden. Yeah, if that's 20, 18 million, and 9 is 27 million. Yeah, so we might have to swing the deal because we have to be around 30 to 35, 36 million, somewhere around there. 10%, you know, now we have to pay 90% of what it is. So we have to be at least 30 million, but I think around 30 to 35, 36 million, maybe 37 million, somewhere in that range. Then in order to bring Donovan over here.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I like I said, I'm pretty much with JW and them too. I just think that Danny Ainge he's not looking to take on no extension. Because here's the thing, you give up Donovan Mitchell for Cam Reddish, right? In the Cam Reddish in that deal. If you don't sign Cam Reddish, that's a bad move on Danny Ainge. You actually took a player for your superstar and you didn't extend him. So that's like a lost trade for him, unless he didn't have to trade a deadline. He flipped Cam Reddish to somebody else, then he get a pick or something out of the deal. But I'm just wondering, will he do that? Yeah, I know, Dave. That's tough too. For unprotected, that's gonna be hard to do. I mean, they could do it, but depending on what year they are. But if I were the Knicks, I definitely try to say, listen, we give you two protected, 4 unprotected,
right?
Or 5 unprotected. We give you this player, and hopefully that it'd be a wrap. Like they said, they do want picks. I mean, he's literally want to be able to take them picks and do just like he did when he drafted Jason Tatum, Brown, and Marcus Smart, and Williams and Robert Williams and all these guys. That's what Danny Ainge did down there. He broke that crap down. He got KG and all these guys out there, Paul Pierce. He got all them picks. Hi, my man from Butler, Brad Stevens, coming right out of college. The same thing he doing now. I think he want to draft the players he want. You know what I mean? It seems like that's how Danny Ainge been rolling lately. Like, I know these guys are talent, but I want to draft the players that I want. You know what I mean? And they pick their talent. You know, so it'd be interesting to see. I think either way it goes, this thing will get done eventually. You know, and a lot of guys in some league today, unfortunately, you might be in that deal. I mean, I don't see no other way. Unfortunately, the guy was going to be in that deal, and you know, but no matter what, I think if we do land this gentleman, we'll be in a good place in New York City. We got a good team down there. We playing Donovan Mitchell. You know what's crazy to me, Shop Hours? Before this thing even came about with Donovan Mitchell, everybody like Donovan Mitchell was the real deal. Now that he coming to the Knicks, he too short.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, okay, you know what? Before we were talking about being traded to the Knicks, this cat is the man. You know what I mean? But now that the Knicks want to get him, but I think all that changed today when they see them young guys playing that championship game today. The pressure kind of pressure bust pipes, man. You know, that's all I can tell you. And but like I said, our main three guys who've been on the roster last year, didn't one perform well. The other guys, they didn't perform well. Ferry Hunt did all right, you know what I mean? But they didn't have it. So that goes to show you how important it is to get Donovan Mitchell down here. We have to compete with the NBA. I don't think we can afford to come on. We need to stay in rebuild mode. It's time for the Knicks to be relevant. You know what I mean? And I really think Shaw Powell, this Donovan Mitchell trade helps us start to become relevant. This ain't the end all be all. Donovan Mitchell is not taking us to the title game, but he makes us maybe a piece away from getting there. You know what I mean? So I do think that the deal should get done, and I think the Knicks should do that because I do believe he puts us closer. He ain't the one. Let's say if Donovan Mitchell, R.J. Barrett don't get us to the second round or out of the second round, that trade was worth it because the next year you can go out there and do something, to even get you better. So I'm really dying to see how this thing pop off because this is the big noise going to be coming. The last big noise I think the Knicks going to have coming into training camp in in training camp. This is going to be the last big news you might hear for the Knicks is the Donovan Mitchell thing, unless they trade somebody else on the roster. But this is going to be the biggest news left that's going to pretty much take us into training camp. So I'm dying to see what they're going to do with this thing.
And on top of that, to piggyback right off of what you said, Divine, we can offer our first round picks. I would even be more likely to want to trade our picks because if we do pull Donovan Mitchell over here for the next 4 years, this is 22, 23, we'll be looking at 26, 27. We could trade the 23 pick, the 25th pick, and the 27th pick, and still give them another 3 picks. We can still, if you want unprotected, you can have the unprotected because now we're not going to be looking at being at the bottom or not making the play in or something like that. We're looking to make the play in, the playoff, the second round with the team that we have right now. With a team like with Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and Julius Randle, I see us being an upward of 40, 46, 47 games. I'm sorry. With that team, I think we may even crack a 50 win game, and either this year or the next year to come, 50, 51 games. But I see us high right now. Even we come off this year, we ain't playing so well in the beginning of the year because guys got to really gather themselves and get themselves together. I still think we could pull off a 47, 48 win team this year. And if they gel quicker, then I see us in the 50 somewhere, 52, 54 games. Easy.
I agree with you on that, and I agree with you and my man on that, and Snipes Entertainment, Salute Snipes Entertainment, and Darren, great point. I think just to piggyback on Dave's point, Brock Aller know how to get them picks. That's why I'm not worried about it. They got a cat there who know how to wheel and deal for picks. So that's a great point, Dave. I'm not worried about that at all. And second of all, Vegas had the Knicks predicted north of 40 wins only with Jalen Brunson. And Vegas, actually, Vegas been right the last couple of years. Except for that year, we went 41 games. They had us projected at 20 something. But if they had us projected at 47 wins, north of 40 with Jalen Brunson, you had Spider Mitchell in there. Then we got to be up in the 50s. You know what I mean? That's to me is automatic. So I think I'm hoping this thing get done, man. I really do, man. We haven't had a cat like this here since. What I mean, that had that much buzz since Carmelo Anthony. You know what I mean? I'm talking about just a legit all-star. Like you think about it, other than Randall the past year, we ain't had nobody since Carmelo could get up in that game like that. So, to get him here, man, I just think it's a good thing to do. I'm not worried about that. The quote-unquote small height. Jonathan Mitchell been putting these numbers up, and he's still the same height. So it don't make a difference to me. You know what I mean? And I think I said it's not the size of the dog, it's the fight in the dog. I think these are smart winning ball players. I think that makes the Knicks a much better team. So I do think that it might be interesting, man. And then I thought about this here. Hey, guys, chat, hear me out and everybody. Let's say they pull off the Spider Mitchell thing, right? And then the Knicks turn around. This is just a theory of mine. I said that's a possibility. You get down to Mitchell, then you turn around and throw Derrick Rose and Julius Randle in a trade for a dude. You know what I mean? Now you actually got two cats who can go to a team and literally help them contend. Julius Randle and Derrick Rose, and for whoever might can run and play the 4 spot. If you ever thought about moving Julius Randle, not if you gonna do that, but if you decided to, that's more firepower. Or you got him, Cam Reddish, if Cam Reddish still here with Derrick Rose, that would get you as a bona fide player. You know what I mean? And so and with the way they contract, other than Julius Randle, I mean, Fournier to be up, Derrick Rose to be aspiring, Cam Reddish is aspiring. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what they do, even if they get down to Mitchell with Julius Randle, if it's Brunson, Spider Mitchell, RJ, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. Pretty much that could be a projected starting five. So it's interesting to see how this thing gonna go, man. But they got a lot of good stuff they could do. And that's why I'm happy about what they did. I still think that if this front office pull off the Donovan Mitchell thing without hurting this team, talking about the player, the picks I'm not worried about. Like we say, Shot Power, they're gonna be way down in the low 20s. They're not gonna be in the top, whatever. So we're not gonna be able to use them because we already got talent. We got young talent on the roster. But I do think that just as quick as we got rid of them, just as quick as we can get some back. You know what I mean? Like I said, you still got Cam Reddish for a pick if the Knicks decide to do that. Or Derrick Rose to get you a late first pick or something from a team. Julius Randle will get you 2 picks or whatever in a player. He's that talented. You know what I mean? So just them picks that we would give the Utah, we can get them right back. We got talent on the team. You know what I mean? And you tell me a team in playoff contention who got a couple of picks, they were like, man, you know what? Julius Randle put us over the top. You know what I mean? We give you this player and some picks. And just like we want to do it with Spider Mitchell, you could do it with Julius Randle. It might not be as lucrative as Julius Randle, but I do think that Julius Randle will go on you a couple of first rounders. 20, 10 to 5. You know what I mean? He going to that. You know what I mean? So I do think that will be very interesting. So we in a good spot in New York, man. I'm excited about the season, man, when it gets started.
Yeah, J-Dub, I'm right there with you, man. I believe if we're going to give up 7 picks, if we're going to give up 7 first-round picks, I don't just want Spider. I want Malik Beasley. I like his way he style. We could maybe even can manipulate it to get Beasley and Butler. They got Butler on their team too. So maybe we could give up 7 picks with 4 players and get back 3 players, because we also have to think that we still have to fill out this roster. And the more players we give out in the trade, the more people we're going to have to bring back. So if we can give up four players and get 3 players back and give them the 7 picks, then we're still right around 11, 12 with the roster that we have now. We will only have to fill out 3 roster spots. So we have to take that into consideration too, because I don't think we have much money left over in our cap room. I think I think it may be already gone, or we have less than $3 to $5 million or something like that. We're right at the cusp of it or something like that. So we really have to look and take into consideration when we send out these players. We can't send out 4 players and only get Donovan Mitchell back. If we get Donovan Mitchell back, we send out 4 players. We only have 12 men, 12 or 13 men on the roster. We'll go down to 9 players, 9, 10 players, and bring Donovan Mitchell back. That'll be 11 players. So now we'll be in a bigger. We'll have to fill 4 roster spots. So the way I was thinking is we give them 7 first-round picks. We give them Fournier and 2 other players, or maybe even 3, or maybe Cam Reddish, Grimes, and Deuce McBride, and we get back Spider and Malik and maybe Butler as well. They got another guy that's on the bench that's a pretty good role player as well. Yeah, Butler's about 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", pretty good guy. If I'm not mistaken, he comes off the bench. He's he's young. He's about 24 to 26 years old. He fits the timeline. He could come off the bench. And, depending on if, there's some speculation out there as well. If we can't put D Rose into this trade, there's also some speculations out there about D Rose moving to Milwaukee as well. So let's see what happens, because we're going to have to somehow try to fill out this roster after we make the trade. We're going to be somewhere around 11 or 12 players on the roster. We're still going to have about 3 to 4 players that we're going to have to bring back in on minimum contracts to fulfill the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Snipes Entertainment. They do got some of the mid-level joints to pop off as well. I don't know. I don't think they used that on Jericho Center. Don't hold me to that. But if they didn't, then you have that as well. But I still think there would be move to make. I think they'd move to make. But I think the interesting thing to me is after watching Summer League today, and after watching our young guys really develop and do their thing, I still don't see them guys holding up a Donovan Mitchell trade for me personally. And I love the young cats. You know what I mean? But I do also think that, like I said, none of them going to mount to Donovan Mitchell in their career. So that's it is what it is. And he's a young guy himself. Salute to my sister, man. Queen Claude in the building, Dope Soul Sports, Queen Steph in the building. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody, man. I know it's kind of like a Debbie Downer, man. We lost the game, but let's take the positive things out of it. Our boys had a pretty good summer league, man. They play hard for us. And I'm hoping that same intensity, that defense carries over to the big team coming here October, man, or training camp. And that defense that Tom Thibodeau put down carries over. And you got Jalen Brunson and Mitchell and RJ and Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. Hope that energy feeds off on the next level. If the Knicks energy do feed off on the next level, to me, we will be a top 10 defense. If that energy, the way they play the summer league, carries over to the big team, I think the Knicks should be real fine on the defense end because them young boys were scrapping hard. They had one of the better efficient games in defense in the summer league, other than probably Portland. You know what I mean? But overall, they were first in a lot of categories in summer league. I like what I've seen from Sims. I like what I've seen from Grimes and all them. But now we got to go big game hunting now, man. It's time to put up or shut up. And I think it starts with Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks got to put up. You got to get this dude. This is like, to me, it's almost like the second coming of Melo. You know what I mean? A guy locally from the area. You know what I mean? Coming home part 2, whatever. You know what I mean? Melo came here. What happened when he got us to the playoffs? Guy was going a couple of mistakes here and there, injuries here and there. We could have went deeper. So, we would hope that Donovan Mitchell come do the same thing. If Donovan Mitchell come here with R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson and all these guys, and they get the Knicks to the second round and we bail out, that's still that's a big step. Because think about it, the next year they're gonna go further because they're going to make the necessary critiques to the roster or whatever, and to get you to another step. Because it's all about different levels. Obviously, it's a maturation process, but I think the maturation starts by getting Donovan Mitchell. You already got Jalen Brunson. If the Knicks pull off Donovan Mitchell, then you better give Scott Perry and Leon Rose executives of the year. I'm calling that right now. If the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, you sign Jalen Brunson, you got Mitchell Robinson, you sign him, Harkenstein, you got Spider. You got to get that man, them boys, executive of the year. You traded one pick to get 3 or 4 picks. You know what I mean? Wheel and deal. You unloaded the cap in one day. Remember, the night before the night before the NBA free agency, the Knicks had no cap money. None. The night before free agency, we had no cap money, and the Knicks turned it into enough to go get Spider Mitchell. You know what I mean? That's wheeling and dealing at its best right there. So salute to the front office, man. And let's hope they close the deal, though. They got to close the deal, Shot Powell. We got to get that boy up in here, man. Real talk.
Yeah, I'm 100% to see him in here. There's a lot of things out there. People have different type of trades that they want to move and stuff like that, and how to move the players around and stuff like that. I just want the New York Knicks to be good. I just want to be happy about the team that we put out on the floor, that we know every night we have a chance to win. Every game is going to be a scrappy game. And we got players now that when we get down in crunch time that could hit the big shot. We got a Brunson that could hit a big shot. And hopefully if we get Donovan Mitchell, someone that can hit that big shot. We haven't had that in recent years. RJ done it a couple of times last year. Randall did it a couple of times last year. Fournier did it once or twice last year, but we don't have a consistent big shot player. And Donovan Mitchell is a big shot player. Jalen Brunson is a big shot player. So with these guys here, let's get good. And let me say this too. I want us to get good because the sooner we get good, the more people will be looking at us. This front office, since Leon has been here, has really been taking care of his players, has changed the way that the Knicks are looked at from the inside. He takes care, he gets his guys in here, he gets some reasonable contracts, but what he's been doing is getting contracts that are movable. And he will get you in here if you playing hard for the New York Knicks and it looks like you want to be here and striving to do for the whole team and a whole to try to win. He's going to take care of you, man. I just want us to be a good team. I want us to have the name behind the New York Knicks perennial. I want us to be a perennial team. I want us to be a team that we could talk about for the next 8, 10 years and be like, man, we got won championships and we've been to the playoffs like 7 times, or we've been in high in the playoffs, second round, almost the finals 6, 7 times, and we win one chip in these next 10 years. And in the next 5 years, we have a team that we can manipulate and make mature. 24, the average age of these guys, our starting five is about 25 years old. I mean, it's the average about 25 years old. If you give these guys 4 to 5 years to blossom, all of them will be right around 29 to 31 years old. Perfect. You know what I mean? And this way we can move forward. And in these 5 years doesn't mean that we'll still have the same players on the team. Because who knows, in 1 or 2 years, maybe we'll move on from Donovan Mitchell and get Jaden Ivory. Get one of these guys. We make some crazy move and move somebody else or do some crazy things, because when you have draft picks and you have good players on your team, the trades aren't hard to be made.
Right. That's it's a lot of great points. So salute to the chat, man. Y'all got to pop it on there. Poor Holmes. I will hold a mellow conversation for another day, but there's a lot of variables. The reason why Carmelo Anthony didn't take it far. There's a lot of reason why he didn't get to go far in the went because of his game.
Let me jump in there real quick, Divine.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about Melo and he didn't do as much for us and all that stuff. Yeah, that may be true to a certain degree, but in the last 10, let me see, when was that? In the last 20 years, we haven't. The only team that won 54 wins was the team with Melo on it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I think that Melo thing was, you got to look at when he first got he took us to the playoffs. It went for Stoudemire hitting the fire extinguisher. It went for Chauncey Billups having a back.
Right.
We would have took Boston out that year easy. Then obviously you go up against LeBron and them and D Wade and them. That's a different story. So it's sometimes it's your competition. You know what I mean? And think about this here. Melo never played with a superstar. LeBron played with superstars. You can name every player up and down that's out there now. Kobe, everybody, nobody on the Knicks roster was a superstar with the closest came to, like I said, Amari Stoudemire, but look what happened to him. But Melo never had that dog with him. Like you got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, or you got D Wade and this dude, or you got Paul Pierce and Garnett, or all you had with Melo and somebody else. That's the whole difference. If the Knicks would have put a superstar with Melo, that thing would have been different in New York. Carmelo Anthony never had a superstar player to play side by side with him. He had a bunch of guys that was on a level lower than him. So yeah, you ask him to carry a franchise opposed to a lot of these other guys, man. You look at over the careers, Kawhi Leonard, who he had, this guy, Paul George, who they had. Look at Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? James Harden and this guy. Carmelo Anthony never had that. That's real talk there. That's not hyperbole. That's facts. So I think hope Donovan Mitchell can come in and do what Melo did. If my man, what's his name, J.R. Smith, wanted to punch Jason Terry at the sidelines.
Yeah,
all this stuff plays out. Also, a lot of variables to the stuff. But let's hope that we get a guy like Donovan Mitchell. He'd be the closest thing we had to Carmelo Anthony in New York in a while. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm excited about getting him here. A superstar player that can really go get it, man. This cat can really get down. So I'm excited about him. And I like the pieces around him. You think about it. Jalen Brunson, good. He good. RJ good. Randall good. And Mitch good. You got a good team there. I mean, you got five stars who literally could play basketball. So I'm really excited about what the Knicks got moving forward. You know what I mean? And what I think this team could be this year if all these acquisitions come to fruition and Spider Mitchell's on this team. There's no double teaming Shot Powers. They got four guys on that start line that could break that ball down and get to the bucket. I mean, I think RJ bounced back with a better shooting year. I think Randall bounced back with a better shooting year. I think Jalen Brunson going to pick up where he picked up when he was playing in the Western Conference Final with Dallas. And I think Donovan Mitchell was Donovan Mitchell. So I do think the Knicks got a good thing popping in New York. I mean, I know some people don't want to believe it, but I'm just like, the numbers don't lie, man. That's a hard team to guard and on a nightly basis with four guys who literally – because you can't tell me that Brunson and Donovan Mitchell is better than Al Burks and Evan Fournier. That's double. I mean, that's like double better. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see, man. Let's hope this thing comes to fruition. We need Donovan Mitchell down here, and we'll see what another year or two from down here. The Knicks might say, you know what, we right there. We might have to make this move, but we right there. And then you got to get him down here, man. Real talk. Like I said, I love our young guy too, but he's young as well. Like you said, Sharp Howell, he's young too. So guy that we got, I'm hoping we can keep three of them. To me, I definitely would love to keep, like I said, with Manuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. I just think that combination works. And that'd be a potent second unit back there with them guys. And then you also got Harkenstein back there, and whoever the case may be. I do think that would be interesting to see how that pan out.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, man. And I like you said, we all say, like, right now, with if we can't get Donovan Mitchell on the team, there's not going to be much of a double team on our team. We may lack a little bit at defense, but offensively, there won't be much of a double team on any of these guys. All these guys can go downhill. All these guys can get buckets going to the hoop. These guys, if they come out better this year, Donovan Mitchell is about 35% from three-pointer. If RJ could bring himself back up to about 35, 36, if Randall could bring himself back up to about 35, 36, Brunson is about 35, 36 from the three-pointer. So it's not like we don't have three-point shooting. These guys are, if Randall and RJ pick back up to average out to around 35 points a game, we're going to be a pretty good team. We're not going to be able to be double teamed as much. And on top of that, Donovan is a willing passer, and also Brunson is a willing passer.
Yes.
And I think that the combination between RJ and Mitchell Robinson has been, I've been saying it for a long time, that they look for each other a lot. So I could see RJ averaging anywhere from 4 to 6 assists a game this year as well. So Mitchell has to be a standout this year, and I believe he's going to come in healthy. Strong will and strong mind. Maybe they taught him how to shoot a jump hook with those guys going down there to see him before the over the summer. Maybe he can develop him a jump shot. But only thing Mitchell Robinson really has to do is hit his free throws. If Mitchell Robinson can come up from 42%, I think his last was around. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was 40 or maybe even 50% from the free throw line. If Mitchell Robinson can get anywhere close to 70% at the free throw line, he is a weapon to be dealt with. So let's see what happens, man. I think these guys are going to open up Mitchell Robinson a little bit, especially the way they drive. And I think Brunson is going to show Mitchell Robinson how to really set a pick and roll. You know what I mean? Because Mitch sets the pick and he rolls to the basket fast. With these two guys going to the basket at the same time, or vice versa, Donovan Mitchell and Mitchell Robinson going to the hole at the same time, the world is our ocean.
Yeah. Real talk. You know what's interesting to me? It goes back to that point guard thing in New York. This has been our Achilles heel for years. To get a point guard in New York right now who literally can get in that paint and break it down like Jalen Brunson, you think about Mitchell Robinson, just to use him for example. Mitchell Robinson been here 5 years. Look at the point guards who Mitchell Robinson had played with. Think about this. This is some real talk right here. Think about the point guards that Mitchell Robinson came in 2018. Mitchell Robinson came here. Think about the point guards who this guy had to play under. They really wasn't point guards. It wasn't good. Now you get a guy like Jalen Brunson who plays in the paint. I mean, this cat could break down the defense and get in the paint at will. And knowing that, and you think he was throwing a little lob to Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell and them. Matter how you gonna be throwing that to Mitchell Robinson and Obi Toppin. You know what I mean? And Jericho Sims. And this guy gonna make a difference for New York in that backcourt, man. He really is. And Spider Mitchell the same way. Randall's a good passer. Randall is a good passer. You know what I mean? His numbers don't lie. The other thing I can say about these guys, much we might get on about some of the little things, he might spin in the lane, he might dribble the ball up, or he might bring the ball up. Why do we bring the ball up? It's a lot of guys like Randall bring the ball up like that's that size. A lot of point forwards in the league really do bring the ball up. So we do nitpick about Randall and a lot of things, but you cannot take away his numbers though. That's one thing you can't dispute. You might not like his style of game. You might not like his turnover spinning in the lane. But one thing you cannot take from him is his numbers. So if Randall come back this year and give you 20 and 5, RJ give you 20, Donovan Mitchell give you 22, 23, 24, Jalen Brunson give you 17. And these guys do this on a regular. Not one day they do 20 and next day they do 4 points. These cats literally on a 20-point level every night. And then you throw Mitchell Robinson double in there. I think that front line, that starting five is going to be a problem. I think people sleeping on that team, man. Shaw Powell, I think that front line going to be pretty impressive. And not the front line, but that starting a unit. Then they have Harkenstein out there, and I think he's going to be a big addition to the Knicks. I like the way that young man play. I watched him out there when he was with the first before he went to L.A. We was out there with the Houston Rockets. Harkenstein, he's an aggressive dude, man. You know what I mean? He can shoot the ball pretty decent from three. He's a good defender. So I think we got a good thing popping down there. Let's just hope it all come together. You know what I mean? And if it does, I just think we got a good squad there, man. And then you go to the bench. If we don't move Derrick Rose and you got Derrick Rose backing up Jalen Brunson, that's a problem for a lot of second teams in the second units in the NBA. To come off of Jalen Brunson and go to Derrick Rose, who got championship pedigree, got playoff experience. Then, and if you keep Grimes, then you got a guy like. If you don't keep Grimes, then you're gonna have to deal with quickly. Come behind Spider. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna have to deal with, if you don't move Cam Reddish, you got Cam Reddish coming behind RJ. You got Obi Toppin coming behind Randall. That's because it's the way it's constructed right now. And you got Harkenstein and Sims there. The Knicks got a solid squad. I'm liking that, man. I really do. And they all can get down, man. So let's see how it goes. That's why I said you might not see the Grimes. You might not see the McBrides of the world, you know, in a couple of weeks. You never know. I just don't think you might see them.
Yeah, the way the team is constructed right now with the guys that's on the team, it's all going to make a big difference. We'll all see how things are really going to lay out after this trade happens, and I'm hoping that they can, give up less players and give up more picks. That's my thing. Less players, more picks. Give up two of the young guys and Evan Fournier, and you pick which two young guys you want. If you want Obi, if you want Grimes and Deuce, if you want, I hate to say this, but Obi Toppin and IQ and Fournier, all right, let's make it happen. And you take these seven first round picks and let's keep it moving. The quicker we get this done, the quicker we can fill out our roster, because we're going to need to make some more moves in order to bring in some more players. And if we can get this thing done, hopefully sometime this week or get closer sometime this week, then the next thing we can start chirping about is what we're going to do with Derrick Rose, because he's the next big contract that we got out there, and we're going to have to make some moves. I'm not sure if we, I haven't looked it up, but I don't know if we have no veteran minimums. If we do, it'll probably be under 8 to 10 million. I don't know if we have any right now. Chat, if anyone knows if we have a veteran minimum package this year, please put it in the chat, and let's see what happens, because we really going to have to depleting our team with 3 more players after moving these 3 players that we've moved already. We really going to have to fill up our roster and stuff like that. We really going to have to get about 3 more guys to solidify our 15-man rotation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I do think that this team is good either way. We got a lot of ways we can go with this thing, man. So I'm really excited about that, to be honest with you. And real quick, Frank Matos, I think we won't have to worry about that trade kicker, to be honest with you. I don't think the Knicks will. I think if you bring Donovan Mitchell in, he gonna play out that contract. Because I don't think Donovan Mitchell would even think about remotely coming to the Knicks. They thought that the Knicks would do that. I think if he come here, I don't think they would worry about that trade kicker. Excuse me, on my stuff in the background. I think they would just say. Yeah, I just think they don't worry about that, to be honest with you, and just go ahead and just let them ride out that contract and stuff like that. But like I said, it's a lot of variables with this stuff, a lot of instant scenarios. The Julius Randle scenario is still out there. If you don't put Derrick Rose in that deal to get Donovan Mitchell, then he's still out there. If Cam Reddish don't go in that deal, he's still out there. So the Knicks got a lot of good talent, man. Like I said, I mean, the team is impressive to me, man. I'm really, really kind of like what's going on with this thing, man. I'm just hoping that it all can, come into fruition, because it sounds good on paper. Nothing is more efficient till you get on the court and make it happen. But at least on paper, the Knicks look real good.
Yeah,
facts.
Yeah, we really just gotta once, as we always saying about the dust being settled and everything is clear, at least we'll know which direction we'll be striving to go to. I'm trustful that the starting unit, if we get Donovan Mitchell, is going to be a very good offensive team. I think we were 103, 104 points per game last year with Spider on the team, with Donovan Mitchell. I'm 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 guesstimating. I'm just only in my head. I want this to happen, but I think we'll be closer to about 112 to 115 points a game. So,
Mhm.
let's see what happened. The way we tried to fixate the team last year by putting Kimba and Fournier to make more offense last year didn't work as well, especially in the beginning of the year. But I believe if we put Brunson and Donovan in those two spots, I think we'll be way better than we were last year.
Yeah, I do absolutely night and day. That's like a shot power. That's to me is a no brainer. I think you think about it here. The impact that Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell were having on the team is nothing compared to what
Yeah, about 30.
Kimber Walker and Fournier had on this team. I don't care how many 3-pointer Fournier hit last year. His plus minus is still was minus. I don't care how many 3-pointers you shot, you still was a minus ball player for the Knicks. And I think we did need to understand that because before we got them to, we was in the playoffs. When we got them to, we didn't make the playoffs. So much as we talk about Fournier and all these guys, when they came here, they didn't make the playoffs. But the Knicks made the playoffs before they got here because they were minus players. Fournier is a good shooter, but he's a minus player because the guy who he's guarding is going to give him the business as well as he giving the business. So it don't amount to nothing. You know what I mean? So I do think that that was a negative to me because he might get hot every now and then, but man, the guy that he was playing every night was giving them the business. So it's a different thing to me. But salute my man Elton, the professor. Salute. But overall, I'm excited about the journey moving forward, man. I think I'm gonna go into the regular season really stoked about this Knicks team, man. I really am, man. Especially even without Donovan Mitchell, I'm happy about the team. But if I add Donovan Mitchell, I'm gonna be even more stoked because I just think that you could line up all the teams in the East, man by man, and you put the Knicks team man by man next to a lot of teams in the East with Donovan Mitchell in that 5 right there. They ain't that better than the Knicks. Because here's why I say that. Like we would say before, Kyle Lowry and Jalen Brunson. Okay, I'm gonna lean a little bit toward Jalen Brunson on the offense game. Defense, you want to get Kyle Lowry the edge out, that's fine, so be it. Let's move to the 2-guard spot. I'm taking Donovan Mitchell over Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, all them dudes. I'm taking him. He's on a level with Jaylen Brown and them. You know what I mean? He's on a level with them guys up on that level. So you look at our 2-guard spot. Our 2-guard can compete with any 2-guard in the East.
All-star.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All hand. Then you go to the 3 spot. R.J. Barrett will hold his own against any 3 in the league. You look at his numbers. Look at all his numbers with 20. He shot a poor percentage like that, but he still shot 20 a game. So he coming in. If his 3 throws go up and he get his field goal percentage go up and his 3 throw percentage go up, he's gonna be even more of a problem. So you look at R.J. Barrett and all the small forwards in the East. The Jimmy Butlers of the world and all them. Shit, he had a better year than Byron Harris now. You know what I mean? So I think now then you just go to the 4 spot. It's not too many 4s in the league in the East can mess with Julius Randle other than Antetokounmpo and all them guys. But Julius Randle probably top 5, top 6 power forward in the Eastern Conference, easy.
That's a fact.
He
is a bruiser, man.
His numbers don't lie. Julius Randle in the East, if you take all the power forwards in the East, he's up there. He's in the top 5, top 6 to me. You know what I mean? And then you go to the center spot. Mitchell Robinson, he got to be in the top 5 centers in the East. Because other than Joel Embiid and guys like that, but I think he'd be right there. So I do think the Knicks got a good thing going on. I'm really excited about this team, man. Let's go get a pop in New York. Salute to the Summer League squad, man. You know what? It wasn't your day today, man. You went against a better Portland team. They cats was hungry. Wofford, Williams, and Walker, Samani Walker's son, which played for the Lakers back in the days. He was at that center spot. They were doing work, you know what I mean? But our big 3 had a good game, decent games. Jericho Sims had a decent game. McBride had a decent game. Sims got it popping later on in the I'm not saying, but Grimes had it popping later on in the game. But overall, though, it was all good. I'm excited. But I'm excited about what's moving ahead, though. I think we got a good squad in New York City, man. I really do, and I think it's gonna get better. You know what? The work ain't even done. Once we get down to the work still ain't done. If the Knicks get that thing popping, shot powers, think about this though. Let's say they make that trade, they still keep Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin it quickly, or Grimes, Obi Toppin it quickly. Either way, If you get that Donovan Mitchell trade off and you keep them 3 guys on that team, the Knicks gonna be a problem in the East.
Right.
They're gonna be a
Right.
problem in
That's
the East,
that's
man.
that that's a good second unit right there. Those three
Yeah,
names
man.
right there that you mentioned.
Yeah, with
Yep.
Derrick Rose maybe, and he's a proven playoff player. I just think they're gonna be fun. I think they're gonna be a pretty good team.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm with you also, Elton Lee. Salute to Elton Lee. I'm not opposed right now, you know,
Mm-hmm.
saying if Danny Ainge is really trying to be shisty and talking about he wants eight first round picks or 6 first round picks and 5 young guys and Leon and Leon Rose walks, we still have some time to make some moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's still some time to do some willing and dealing. And I would love to see Donovan. We've been talking about Donovan Mitchell maybe for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. I mean, for even before this, but more so every day talking about Donovan Mitchell. Every time we get on this stream, we've been talking about Donovan Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell. There is a chance, Knicks fans. Let this be known as well. There is a chance. There is a lot of speculation that we can pull this trade off, but there is a chance that we may not get a Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? And I am also wholeheartedly cool with moving on with this team as it's constructed right now with Brunson as being the point guard because I think Brunson is going to be one of the biggest keys to this thing, the way this thing is going to roll around this year. So I'm wholeheartedly I want Donovan here, but just in case that we don't get Donovan Mitchell, don't think that it wasn't we were out that the front office wasn't out there trying to get this guy. If Danny Ainge is talking about 6 first round picks and IQ, Obi, Grimes, Cam Reddish, and all of these guys like that, I don't know if I would be willing to give up the whole last 2 years of our draft picks. I don't know if I'm ready to do that for Donovan Mitchell. So that's another reason why I want to give less players and more picks, and maybe we can squeeze another one of their players from them, like a Malik Beasley. We can get Beasley with Spider and give up. Then I wouldn't be opposed to giving up 4 picks, but we have to sit and debate about which 4 they would be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I mean, you know what? You can't obviously you can't get fleeced about it. You know what I mean? And I don't think they will because, like I said,
No.
I don't think. I see. This ain't the old regime.
Mm-mm.
Leon Rose ain't that dude. You know what I mean? They really
Yeah,
not.
this ain't Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, this ain't them all them guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got a certain thing they trying to do, and the New York Knicks, to me, if you get Donovan Mitchell, you got Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and R.J. Barrett locked up for the next 4 years, 5 years.
Right.
You got a starting lineup literally could play together for the next 5 years.
Right. Today 30.
That's how you build a team. Look at the way Jalen Brunson them do it. I mean, not Jalen, but look at Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart. They got their bags. I mean, Jason Tatum got his bag. Jalen Brown about to get the other bag. Marcus Smart got his deal. You know what I mean? And they've been playing together. Look at Giannis and Middleton. Them cats been playing together for 7, 8 years.
Yeah, they've been
You got
playing
to
together
get
for a
to a
while.
point in a franchise where your guys is able to play together to get continuity, to compete. You know what I mean? So to me, by bringing in Jalen Brunson and Spider Mitchell, having RJ and Randle them locked up, every year they come in the league, they know how to play with each other. It's like, okay, we go into training camp next year. I already know how RJ played. I know how Mitchell get down. It's nothing that I got to figure nothing out. I think it's about time for the Knicks to get some continuity when it comes to, a team. We haven't had a team continuity in a while. That's why I'm glad when they did extend Julius Randle, I was like, man, if they extended RJ and Mitch, I'm gonna be happy. And they sure enough did it. You gotta keep these guys together who've been playing together. You know what I mean? Because they know each other. They know where Mitchell Robinson want the ball at. They know what RJ like the ball at. They know each other's tendency. They know each other's way. That's why I cannot see them breaking up Manuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. You can't break that up because they know each other's tendency. They play so well together on the court. It's amazing. I mean, Manuel Quickly know what he do? When he get a rebound, what the first thing he do?
Look up.
Look up. Just look up. Because he knows Obi Toppin is sprinting. You can't, you know, that's continuity. That makes it easier for them guys to play the game of basketball. So I do think if you do get Donovan Mitchell, you do get when you got Jalen Brunson and RJ, you extend RJ, Randall on the contract, Mitchell Robinson on the contract. Let them five guys build their continuity together for the next couple of years. And if we get to a certain level where, you know what? Okay, I love you, but this next guy that we might can get out of this deal could take us over the top. You know what I mean? Or this, you know, so it's definitely that. You know, we got to get back to making sure that we got a continuity on our roster, man. We can't keep throwing players in, throwing players out, because that's not good for them, and it's not good for the organization. That's why people gonna say they don't ever win, because they always switching out people. You know, that's why I'm glad. Much of them we might not like this player, I'm glad they signed them back. You can't keep switching out players all the time, because there's never going to be no develop there. So I'm really happy about what they're doing, and I like the way this team is built, man. So I'm excited about it. I think going into training camp, going to be a lot of competition in there. It's going to be interesting to really see how the Knicks get down in training camp, because the East got better too. Let's like last year, they got better this year. You know what I mean? Some teams out there who can get down, man. But I think we one of them though. Let's hypothetically say if Miami don't do nothing this year, if Miami don't make a deal this year, yeah, they come back with a more in shape Kyle Lowry. But they didn't elevate their team that much. You know what I mean? And who knows what's going to happen with Chicago with the Lonzo Ball situation. You know, we don't know how that's going to turn out. Yeah, they got Andre Drummond to back up Vucevic and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting, man. We know the Brooklyn Nets, and I think they probably want to run in the back. I think Kyrie and KD might still be there. That's going to be a powerhouse team. But I do think it's going to be interesting, man. But I think we're ready for the challenge, though. I mean, Atlanta Hawks got better with Devontae Murray. We had to see how it goes, but I like the dudes that we bring into the fight though. Shaw Powell, I think we got some dogs in the fight this year.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that, Divine. I think we really have some things that we could put together this year to amaze the East this year. And to Elton Lee's point, I believe Brunson maybe was given the readout that he may be the guy to control everything. Well, even with Donovan Mitchell on the court, I believe Brunson is going to have a lot of say-so of where the ball goes and how to swing the ball. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson is a great point guard, and he sees the floor. And if he sees that you're open or if you're hot, you're going to get the ball. And I'm pretty sure he's going to set up the players to make it easier for them to put the ball in the basket. That's what I believe that he's going to do this year. So do I think he's going to be frustrated until he gets into the mainstream of the game with these guys and working along with these guys and stuff like that? I don't think Brunson's going to have too much of a downside, because he already played with a player that controlled the ball 80% of the time, being a shooting guard, and he playing off the ball as being a point guard. So I believe that Brunson will have more time with the ball coming up the court to set the team up. And I believe this team anyway is going to be a faster paced team. So I don't know if we're going to play as much half court basketball as we're going to be playing that quote unquote 7-second thing. Get the ball, turn around, get to the outlet goes, sprints to the hole, and goes for the basket. I think that's the way that we're going to be playing more this year. I think our fast break points should be a little higher this year. I think our pace should be a little better. And I also think that our scoring per game is going to be a little higher if we can acquire Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, real talk. We're first and foremost, salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody. I'm hope y'all had a great Sunday, man. Y'all ain't here with Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. Divine Shop, Power, my man KJ Vince out on assignment doing this thing with his family. So salute to my brother KJ, Real Talk. But salute to the chat, my man Jarvis, Louisiana slugger down there, Eddie Alvarez, Allah Wide, Frank Matos, all you guys, Elton Lee, salute to all y'all, man. Hey, Knicks didn't win the chip, but that's all right. I like the way our young boys played this year. They got a pop in some league. You see the growth and development, especially from the three who was on the main roster last year. The second year summer league they really did their thing this year. So I'm excited about that as well. I think they came out there and played their best. But obviously Portland had a better team. They won the game. So, but they competed hard. They played hard all summer league. So salute to the New York Knicks, young guns, man. It might be a different world in another couple of weeks. Who knows? But real quick, y'all hang in here, man. Let me throw this video up in there about the Knicks salary cap situation. And if y'all can watch it, just try to watch every part of it, because it's interesting to see how this team can be really, really pan out with the salary cap situation. And so yeah, y'all check this out. Let me get it popping right quick, man, and then and we'll talk about it. Just a salary cap thing I put together. Y'all might have seen it on the
Right
last
back,
stream.
Devon. Right back.
Yep, y'all might have seen it on the last stream. So check it out. It's just salary cap thing I put together for the New York Knicks and the team moving forward if we happen to acquire Donovan Mitchell. Y'all check it out. We'll be right back, brother. Yeah, real talk, man. What I did with that guy, I just wanted to bring that up because what I put up there is that will put the literally between them guys that I put up there will put the Knicks at $149 million, right around the luxury tax. So they don't go over the luxury tax, but with Spider Mitchell and all the guys, that's about $129 million in the starting lineup. Then when I went to the second lineup, it was Hartenstein $7 million with incentives, Jericho Sims $1.6 million. Then we had who else I had in there? Grimes, Quickly, and Obi, all like around Obi $5 million, and Quickly and Grimes was around $2 million. That would literally put the Knicks at $150 million, close to 150, which the cap was the luxury tax was $150,240,000. So I still think you can really get this thing popping one way or the other. And I put Fournier, Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish, them guys I didn't really consider them amongst the cap because I'm thinking they might possibly be gone. But even with that right there, you will be capped out, but man, we got a good team down there. So we're gonna see how the Knicks will and deal with this thing, man. And I hope that they make the best of it. But I think we got a good thing going here, man. And let's see how it goes. Shout out, I think the Knicks really gonna be able to do some things in the next couple of years with this team they got probably constructed the way I put it up on the graphic up there.
Yeah, things are here to be changed right now, and even giving away five, 6, or 7 trade picks, we still have 4 first round. If we give up, let's say we give up 6, we still have 5 first round picks, and we still have a plentiful amount of second round picks, 11. So we still in good graces, man. We got some guys that are if we keep some of these guys, say a Derrick Rose or something like that, that'll be a contract that'll be coming off our books next year. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to hold on to Evan Fournier, but somehow they do hold on to Evan Fournier because they give up Grimes. Then next year, Fournier is possibly to be off the contract as well. So we got some movable contracts for the next years, plus a couple of first round picks, plus a slew of second round picks. And the main focus is, for me, I want the New York Knicks to become a good team. I want us to be a good team. I want us to come on the post games and be happy about the team that we put out there tonight, and knowing that if we get down to a clutch part of the game, we have about 3 players on the starting unit that could get us a bucket. Last year we had problems with that. Last year we had problems we got down in games and we started giving away leads, and we couldn't have someone like a Derrick Rose to come off the bench to drive it to the hole or shoot that 3-pointer that he was shooting real well in the last couple of years. And this year we're not going to have too much of that problem. We'll have Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and to put those two guys on the floor is going to make everybody a little better because everybody's going to know the position. Once they figure out how to work along with each other, this team can really prosper this year, man. And I'm wholeheartedly 100% optimistic about what's going to happen this year.
Yeah, real talk. Yo, salute to the chat, man. Yo, banging aces. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you coming in. Salute to the whole chat. Salute to wherever you streaming them from. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it divine. Shout power with my man KJ out there, man. But yeah, I tell you what's interesting to me. One thing I could say about these guys, and I want to bring this point because I think Will had brought it up. With Will put it up, these guys all talk to each other. I think Brunson is aware of the Knicks plan to go after the Spider. Here's the key to that right there. Who was Spider playing with out in Utah? Eric Pascal, his best friend. Who did Eric Pascal play with, won 2 national titles with in Villanova? Jalen Brunson. What the Knicks did to me, they brought about connections. You know what I mean? That's why the Brunson thing was achievable. They when they bought Leon Rose and Scott Perry and Worldwide Western here, these cats had connections. They knew how to connect the dots. You know what I mean? Like I said, Jalen Brunson, but his father coached with Tom Thibodeau way back in the day. Derrick Rose was schooling Jalen Brunson when he was in high school in Chicago. These is connections. You know what I mean? They made this thing a family affair. So okay, Jalen Brunson was when he was in Chicago. Derrick Rose balling out for Tom Thibodeau in Chicago. Jalen Brunson was high school there. His dad was on the Knicks. On Chicago Bulls coaching staff. So that's one connection. The other connection is Rick Brunson played for the 99 team that went to the championship. He was a point guard in the Knicks organization. That's another connection. You know what I mean? So they bring in these guys that got connections. You know what I mean? And I think it's panning out the way it should pan out. And that's what it should be about. Because like Will said, players talk. But them cats, I wouldn't even doubt if they get Donovan Mitchell. Remember, Eric Pascal haven't even been signed in free agency yet. Who's to say that the Knicks don't even bring Eric Pascal on? He played with Golden State. He got a winning mentality. He won 2 national championships in Villanova. He played with Steph Curry and them in Golden State. You know what I mean? So he's been around winning culture. You know what I mean? And that's what they're building down there, man. I really think that it's going to be interesting to see, man. I think the Knicks is in a good spot. I think they got this thing going the right way. I hope so, Super Argo. I'm hoping the Knicks can keep him out of that deal. I think Cam Reddish, like when it was impressed me was when I see him sitting there next to Leon Rose in the summer league. You know what I mean? These cats, that whole continuum was there. They all sitting together, all the way from Dolan all the way down. They all there. Cam Reddish sitting there. That was so nice to see that family atmosphere they had in this thing, man, where everybody was there. The players, the coaches, the owners, the front office. It was all they was all there in cohesion, man, sitting there watching the summer league team get down. So I was happy about that. And I think moving forward, we're gonna be all right. I think one thing about this shot powers, RJ Barrett's not a selfish player. Julius Randle is not a selfish player.
No.
These are not selfish ball players. I don't think they're going to try to feel like this here. I'm going to tell you what I like about the whole thing. Why I don't think we got to worry about that. All of them got their bag. Ain't no need for them to try to outdo one another. You know what I mean? Because they all got their bag. Jalen Brunson got his bag. Donovan Mitchell got his bag. RJ had his bag. Randall got his bag. And Mitch got his bag. So it ain't going to be like, I'm going to try to outshine you. We want to play as a team and win a championship. And that's what it should be about. So I think they did it the right way, and I think that's what it's going to wind up being. I don't think we have to worry about this team too much when it comes to continuity and chemistry and selfishness. Because like I said, one thing you can say about Julius Randle, that's why his assist numbers is always there. Julius Randle can hit a triple-double at any given time. He's not a selfish dude. He just that was under the pressure and had to be the man when he didn't have nobody to be the man with. But now he got cats around him who can get it. It takes the pressure off of Julius Randle. He don't have to go out there and try to score all the time now. He got cats on that squad who really, him and RJ don't have to worry about the pressure no more. I think this year they still had the pressure with Fournier and Kemba Walker and them. Now they don't. Julius Randle don't have that pressure. He ain't got to worry about trying to hold the ball. He got a dude like Spider Mitchell. If he come here, can get it. He know RJ can get it, and he know my man gonna be able to get it. So I think the Knicks gonna be fine, bro. I don't think you got to worry about too much of me. It's all about it. It's all about it coming together. You know what I mean? Putting all them ingredients together to make that flavor, man. I mean, they do star power. We good to go. I believe that.
I'm 100% with you there, Divine, because I see with these guys on the court right now that you don't have to run the starting unit the whole 32, 35 minutes a game.
That'd be
you
deep.
make it you could weave a lot of these guys into 30, 31 points a game and be restful, be ready for the fourth quarter, have
Mhm.
them on the bench, especially with depending on who we have left on the bench and stuff like that. These guys can be weaved into a lower minutes per game, but a higher percentage on average. And that is the essential thing that I think that the Knicks are going to try to do this year. Aside from everyone no, I don't want to say everyone, but we do talk about the Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell being short in stature. But with a Tibbs defense of scheme, I believe that with Donovan Mitchell and Brunson buying into the scheme, I believe they could be a pretty decent front court. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes you may see that they may get somewhat beat on a 1-to-1 type of move, but that's why we got Julius. That's why we got Mitchell Robinson back there, and we'll have Julius Randle because I believe they're gonna on the way that they scheme, they're going to play like a three-man the square. They're going to have Mitchell Robinson with RJ and Brunson on one side, and Mitchell Robinson, Donovan Mitchell, and RJ on one side. Did I say it right? Randall, whichever one I meant to say, Randall or RJ is going to be the third card. And it's going to be hard to just run into the lane. It's not going to be as easy as people think. These guys are tough defenders. They are short in status, yes. Do they get beat once in a blue moon like every other point guard or shooting guard in the league gets done? Yes. But the counter to that is we have someone to stop all that, man. And Mitchell Robinson, yeah, this year could be where you see Mitchell Robinson averaging 3 blocks a game. You know what I mean? Because as of now, the way I see it, and I always say this, Mitchell Robinson had 1.5 blocks a game, but he had almost 10 blocks, 10 almost blocks. Because when people go to the hole and they see Mitchell Robinson, they're not that likely to go in there. When the last time you seen Mitchell Robinson really, really get dunked on? You know what I mean? I think I may see maybe Embiid. I think he kind of threw it on him a little bit one time, but I never really see Mitchell Robinson get, it be on ESPN for like the whole week of Mitchell Robinson getting dunked on. I don't really remember seeing that happen. And, we play hard defense. We went from being last in defense last year to ending up being 11th. The year before, we were top 5, top 4 in defense last year. So if we could put these guys in some defensive programs where everybody works together as a team, I think we'll be just fine. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing about Donovan Mitchell, let's not get it twisted. You look at some of the still leaders up in the NBA, he's up there.
Right. He's like 3, right? He's like
Up there.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't no slouch now.
Yeah, he plays defense.
Better defender than Fournier, and I think Jalen Brunson can play just as good a defense as Kemba Walker or Alex Burks. Now,
Facts.
so I'm not too much worried about it. I piggyback up what B Civilized said. It's really about the collective thing, man. About coming together cohesively, knowing your schemes. It's a team defense thing. And I think Kid Tip got enough good schemes to cover up for a lot of guys. Lack of defensive ability. Because you look at our team last year, later on in the season, we got better. But I think that had a lot to do with them finally starting to catch on to what Tibbs was coaching. But I think this year, man, I don't think we have a problem on the defense whatsoever. I think they got enough athleticism. One thing about Donovan Mitchell, he's short in stature, but the guy built. He built. He can keep a dude in front of him. And if he's here, Brunson, he got a nice stature to him, so I don't think they should be a problem with all, man. Because like I said, these cats. The reason why I don't have a problem with it, Luka Doncic or no Luka Doncic. It wasn't a problem getting to the Western Conference Finals with Jalen Brunson. So, it is not because he come to the Knicks, he sucked. No, Jalen Brunson is a ball player. He did what he had to do. Look what his team got. And he had a lot to do with that. Without Jalen Brunson, they don't get to that finals, that Western Conference Finals last year. Luka couldn't do that by himself. And I think Jalen Brunson was the catalyst.
Right.
When Luka Doncic went down, Jalen Brunson was putting up numbers. Donovan Mitchell been doing this thing for the last 3 or 4 years in the playoffs. I'm not sweating. These guys are winners, man. Donovan Mitchell's a winner. Jalen Brunson's a winner. You're bringing winners to the ball game, and that's what you want. You can't only bring talent. You got to bring winners. Anybody, a lot of people got talent. Are they winners? And I think Jalen Brunson and Spider Mitchell are winners. You know what I mean? And he did it in Louisville. Now he did it over there in Utah. And my man Jalen Brunson did it at Villanova, two national championships with Jay Wright, came to Dallas. And look where he got to the last 2 years. So I mean, these cats got winning mentality. Like I said, it's not the size of the dog, it's the fight of the dog. I don't care how big you is. If you ain't got the heart, it don't mean nothing. Them cats got heart though, and they got the heart to play in New York. These cats want to be here, man. You know, it ain't like Jalen Brunson want to be in New York. Spider Mitchell want to be in New York. R.J. Barrett want to be in New York. What did Julius Randle say? I want to win a championship in New York. These cats want to be here, and they already got their bag, but they still determined to come here and to play in the bright lights of Broadway against all us crazies. You know what I mean? So I think it should be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. I don't got no problem with the boys if they get them. Real talk.
Don't forget Mitchell Robinson, because Mitchell Robinson could have surely left us this year. There was a couple of teams eyeing for Mitchell Robinson this year and stuff like that. And for some of the things on Twitter and some of the things on Instagram, seeing him with New York a bust or nowhere but New York and all this stuff on here means a lot, man. And if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, man. That saying's been said for as long as I've known, man. And if you could come in here and perform, and you go somewhere else, you're going to be taken from another team. And I think we got a good team to build on right now, man. And we got a lot of stuff that we still have to still build this team and keep this team alive, man. 11 second-round picks and 5 to 6 first-round picks in the next 7 years. So let's stay optimistic, man. If this team can stay together, I want to be a good team. I want to be a good team. I do not want to play out of the draft and hope for a superstar to come out of the draft and have to give him some tutelage to get him used to the NBA and all this stuff. I'm tired of hearing that. I want us to be our pick. See, the one thing that I hope for is if we do get Donovan Mitchell, our picks now with Donovan Mitchell, with us making a play in or play off, drops into the 20s. And I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want Danny Ainge to really hear this, but I really want to stick to Danny Ainge right now. We give him three of our first round picks unprotected. I want to put them picks in like the 20 in the 20 and under status, the bottom part of the draft. And I mean, that's what I want to do. And with Donovan Mitchell, for the 20, even if we give up the 23 first round pick, that pick, well, if we can make it into the playoffs, that pick will drop down into the 21st or 24th, something like that. That's the way I want to give him the picks. He wants first round picks unprotected. That's the way I want to give it to him.
Yeah, I give him. You know what, Sharp House? I give him all this year. No, next year. I give him all 2023, the first 2 we got and the unprotected one. That go 5 picks right there alone.
That is, yep.
You know what I mean? So if you give the Utah Jazz the Dallas pick we got this year, our own pick, give them the three unprotected picks we got from in the deal with OKC, and then give them another pick down, whatever. You know what I mean? It won't matter.
There's a good 25 pick, I think, is top 4 protected.
Yeah, it won't matter because we'd be a team that we'd be in the higher echelon of the teams in the East. That them picks gonna be down there.
Right, that's what I want to give them.
Yeah, it wouldn't even matter if we gave them 6.
Right.
You know why? Them picks ain't gonna amount to nothing with the way our team would be constructed. We'd be like
exactly
a 5, 6, 7. We'd be at least be a top 6 team in the East. That pick would be down in the 20s.
Exactly.
You factor in the Western Conference teams and all that. So I think sometimes you gotta. Knicks need a player like Donovan Mitchell here. I'm sorry. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. All of us Knicks fans in the chat, watching wherever you're streaming them from, we've been watching the Knicks for years. You got to finally admit that, damn, we never been in a position like this for a minute. Even when we did the Melo thing, we gave up a lot of players.
Yeah, we gave up a lot.
Players. Now we're able to give up cats who don't even know if they're going to pan out in the NBA. You don't know what them picks going to be in the NBA. They might mount to nothing. You know what I mean? They might be like the guy we seen in Summer League today.
The funny thing about that, Devon, the guy in the 25th pick right now is only 14. What's that, 2 years away? I thought, right, 26 pick. The 26th first round pick right now is 14 years old. You know what I mean? So when he's 14, 4 more years, he'd be 18 coming out of college. Let's look at it like that, man. These next couple of picks that we got, if we hold on to picks that are later, like the 25, 26, 27, 28, All those guys right now, 13, 14, and 15 years old. All right, so let's think of it like that. These guys are things that could happen over the next 4 years that we don't even know who that pick is going to be. Right now, that guy, right, the boy we talking about, I hate to say boy, but the young man that we talking about right now is just getting ready to start college. I mean, just getting ready to start high school right now.
Yeah.
First year in high school. He's 14 years old. In 4 years, he'd be 18. That's 4 years from now. That's 20. What's this? 22. That'd be 26. All right. Let's look. Let's look long term. Let's really think about it like that. All right. Because these picks that we talk about around the picks that we're talking about that we're going to pick up, these young men that we're going to pick up are 13, 14 years old right now, getting ready to start high school. Let that sink in.
Mm-hmm. Harry, salute to Harry. Yo, y'all make sure y'all run them up with the thumbs up, man. You know, we got a pop in the head. We dropping some mad knowledge, man. Knicks night, you know what it is. Knicks Real Talk, let's get it. Divine Shot, Powley in the building with the chat. It's where it's at. You already know how we get down over there.
Word up.
Man, let's do it, man. But it's a lot of interesting scenarios the Knicks could do, man. But these cats is willing and dealing in New York, man. They definitely playing chess down there. You gotta get a Knicks they flowers, man. But what they accomplished over there and what they put together in that front office since Scott Perry got there, they went and brought in Leon Rose, Worldwide West, who got connections all over the place. Check this out. The Worldwide West, Julius Randle, and Allen Houston went and sat at a playoff game where Donovan Mitchell was playing Jalen Brunson. They both about to be on our team.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I mean? Oh my God!
And let me say this too. We haven't really heard much about this per se tampering thing anymore.
No
I don't even want to say it out loud because I say it right now. Tomorrow they're gonna start talking about they want two second round picks. Let me shut my mouth. Let me just smoke real quick and come back.
Yeah. You know what? But that's what I mean though. Them cats got connected. They powers like, man. They sat there and now the same two cats they were sitting there watching gonna be in New York, possible, starting in our backcourt. One of them dropped 40 that night or one game that week. Jalen Brother dropped 41 that night or one night before that he dropped. And you know, Donovan Mitchell do what he do. Now they're going to be in the backcourt for the New York Knicks. That front office got connections, man. And with the way Brock Aller's willing, dealing them draft picks, we was going to go into the 2023 NBA draft with 11 pick. We knew we wasn't going to need them because we going another way. So we dealt them to get capital, to help get the capital to hopefully get Donovan Mitchell. And look at all the stuff that he acquired in the process. Dude, that's why I said this front office pull off the Donovan Mitchell thing. Right now, Leon Rose is Executive of the Year, hands down. No, I don't think nobody out there did what this cat did this summer. Think about all the teams that made moves this summer. Other than Devontae Murray out going to Atlanta, okay, that was decent. But to go get Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson and sign your own players back, you know, you got to give them his flowers, man. You got to get them boy their flowers up there in that front office, man. I really think that was awesome to do, Shot Powell. That was some willing and dealing right there.
That is some willing and dealing. Get off topic real quick, Jarvis. I'm glad to hear that your mother's feeling a little better, man. Salute to you, my brother. My prayers was out to you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's hopefully it's soon to happen, man. I know I've seen the thing out there. Our kind of offer to what Danny Ainge threw out there, the 5 picks and 5 young players, like a whole starting crew right there. You know, our kind of offer was right now we're going to offer you 6 picks, and we'll discuss on who we want to trade for that. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if we give up less players, giving up someone like Grimes, Deuce, and Fournier, and 7 picks. That is a thing that's been ringing in my mind for a little bit of time. If we want to sweeten the deal, maybe either either Cam Reddish, or maybe if we could swindle in Rose, which I don't think, but if we could sweeten the deal with one of those 2 guys. But now we don't. Now you don't get 7 picks. Now you get 5. You know, the more players we give you, the less picks I want to give up, and vice versa. If we give up less players, I give up 7 first-round picks for the next 7 years. We can make three of our own picks unprotected. I'm 100% with that, because 23, 25, and 27. By 27, we'll be where we want to be with this team. You know what I mean? And those 3 first-round picks unprotected are like we talked about is going to drop down into the 20 somewhere. And if we're going to give up picks, that's the way I want to give it to them.
Hey, I left that up for a reason. Frank Montos got the actual best scenario for the Knicks right there. I think that's the gimme trade right there. Fournier, Rose, Grimes, McBride, and 6 first rounders. Get it done. You clearing cap space. You freeing up 1, 2, 3, 4 positions.
Yep.
Get 1 position. And Frank Montos, that's the trade the Knicks should be doing right there. Fournier, Rose, Grimes, McBride, again, and do the 6 first rounders, and you freeing up 3 roster spots. And that means you keeping Obi Toppin, you keeping Cam Reddish, you keeping Emmanuel Quickly. You got to pull that trade off. You got to pull that off, bro. Real talk. I mean, I think and I think Danny Ainge would do that. Because, like I said, here's the thing about that trade. You know what he could do with Derrick Rose, Shaw Powers? Flip him at the trading deadline for a pick.
Sure can.
You don't got to keep Derrick Rose and Fournier. Danny Ainge could take Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose, and at the trading deadline, flip them dudes for some picks. Now he got more picks if that's what he wants. So I think it's a win-win if he pull that off, Frank Montos. I think that'd be the good deal. You can get Fournier and Derrick Rose off the books with Grimes and him for Donovan. You got to do that. You know, you freeing up roster spots, and you keeping guys that some of our main guys, like especially Cam Reddish. You get him an opportunity to play him and Emmanuel Quickly with Harkenstein and Obi Toppin gets to be here. Then if you do the Julius Randle thing later, so be it. But I do think that's a good start, though. I don't have a problem with that with them picks and that thing that Frank Montos put up there. I just think it's a good move, Shaw Powers.
That is the way we need to go. That will open up, but in that scenario, we will have to work fast. That's why I hope that we could get this thing done quick, because we're giving up 4 players. We're 12 right now. If we give up 4 players, we'll be at 8, and then we bring in. We'll be at 9. Sorry, we'll be at 9, and Donovan Mitchell will be 10. So now we're looking to fill up 4 to 5 roster spots again. So we're gonna have to do some real willing and dealing and stuff like that if we can get something like that happening right there. But I'm totally with that trade right there. I'm with giving up more picks. I'm with giving up 6 or 7 picks. I'm with giving up 3 of our first round picks and making them unprotected, because I believe that this team in the next 4 to 5 years is going to be a better team. So if we're better in 23, if we're better in 25, and if we're better in 27, those picks mean nothing to give up that are ours, because they're going to be low draft round picks. They're not going to be first round picks. So, they'll be in the top 20, but they won't be in the top 10, first top 10 from the draft. They won't be top 10.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really. You know what? Like I said, summer league over. Summer league over, but the season is really starting now, because I think this Knicks trade with Donovan Mitchell, at least the noise out there about it. I think I'm on an 80-20 stat that this thing gonna happen. I really believe that this thing gonna happen for New York. I think this is what they were set out to do. And like I said, to have all them guys locked up, you extend RJ. Now you got your whole starting lineup extended for the next 4 or 5 years. All of them already signed. Mitchell just got a 4-year deal. Randall got a 4-year deal, whatever, 5. RJ get his deal. Donovan Mitchell still got his deal wasn't even that short, so it still got 3 or 4 years on it. And Jalen Brunson got a 4-year deal. The New York Knicks starting lineup could be played together if they kept that team together for the next 4 years. And by then, Brock Aller being there, then when it's time for Obi's extension and these guys' extension, you don't think that you're going to be able to extend them, then you know what you do? They're going to get some good packages for them. Be right back there. Salute to the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. You know how Knicks Real Talk do, man. Let's get it. We in the building. Shaw Powers, Divine, KJ have been in the most powerful chat in the business. The chat is where it's at. Without the chat, ain't no Knicks Real Talk. So y'all already know we appreciate all the brothers and sisters that be up in there dropping all that supreme knowledge. Like I say, y'all the invisible panel up over there, man. If y'all was on the panel, it wouldn't be no different, because y'all cast is wise and intelligent what y'all do in that chat. So y'all keep that chat coming, keep burning. But I'm looking forward to it. I think the season's going to be fun. I think MSG going to be lit this year. We're going to be in the building making sure it's lit as well. And I just hope that this thing wind up. We hope we get this guy, man, and then we go build something, man. We got a good culture to go build, develop down in New York City, and it's well-deserved. It's well deserved. It's been a minute. I think Tom did a good job. We had a bad year last year because of so many reasons, but it wasn't because we didn't have talent. Just everything didn't blend together. But let's see how it goes. I'm excited about this thing, man. And let's see. You never know what happened with Julius Randle moving forward. You just never know. Who knows? But if he here, I think we still got a good, powerful five-star five there. Mitchell Robinson got his money. Played 72 games last year. I think he's coming into camp in condition. I mean, he's gonna be good. He's been working on the free throws all summer long. Now he got a point guard who can get him the ball in the spot where they need to get it to him. RJ need to get his free throw shooting together, work on that 3-point percentage a little bit. And I think that's going to be popping as well. So, and I think Julius Randle, now that, he's going to take all that stuff that he had on all his weight on his shoulder last year, is gone. And I think him and RJ and all them guys and Brunson are going to be live this year. Let's bring in my partner in crime, the other partner in crime, part of the Supreme Team, KJ Events. KJ, what's up, bro?
Fellas, Devon Shaw, what's happening with you guys?
Yes, sir. Congratulations on
Knicks.
the good stuff in your celebration, KJ.
Thank you. Knicks Real Talk family. Listen, we fell a little short today at the chip, but it's progressed in all the other years that we have. I think the guys are a little bit faster. The other team worked harder than us, but you know what? It's progress. But guess what? I seen enough of what I had to see with Grimes, McBride, and Sims, and I'm a little bit more okay. I'm a big McBride fan, but the question has to be now is if we keep a guy like this McBride and we keep a D Rose and it quickly. Where's the time going to come from this young man at this point in time on his Knicks team right now? So I'm okay with Dylan McBride in this deal for Donovan Mitchell. Again, how many players is better than Donovan Mitchell on this team? Right, Donovan Mitchell becomes the best player, and then my question, will McBride or Grimes live up to what a Donovan Mitchell is now? And to me, the answer is no. So I'm okay with dealing a guy like McBride right now. Grimes, I'm on the fence, but if I had to, I'll be okay with that too. But in the short term, you give me McBride and you give us a guy like Jordan Clarkson back with that Donovan Mitchell trade, I'm all for it.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't even think about Jordan Clarkson. Yeah,
I forgot about him too.
Because just because Jordan Clarkson provides, $6 million a year, like he provides a whole lot. So why not bring in a guy like that or Michael Beasley? Somebody.
Beasley, that's what I thought.
So
yeah, I like Beasley.
We have options, but the front office is not going to let us go straight. They're not the front office of old. So to me, the Knicks are in a great position of getting this Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell wants to be here. He's in New York now, so why not make it happen?
Yeah, real talk. Hey, Dwayne, I'm assuming Darren, I'm sorry, apologize for that. I think hopefully in the next week or two, man, I'm hoping this thing get done sooner than later to get it out the way, and then what they can focus on is maybe something else. Because I think even at the Donovan Mitchell thing, they don't make it's going to be done. It might be some other move they might make depending on what it takes for him to come here and all that stuff, or what they got to give up and all that stuff. I don't know with the Malik Beasley and Clarkson thing. It's cool. I don't know from a salary cap perspective because we're going to be tapped out. We are literally going to be tapped out once we make these trades. I think we'd be at the $149 million.
Yeah, we be right there.
Out. So that
might even roll into it. The best thing about rolling into luxury tax, the tickets at New York at Madison Square Garden are going to be about another 10%, another 10% on top of the thing. So luxury tax means nothing to the New York Knicks. I don't care what year we had when we won 12 games 1 year. The Garden was packed, 41 million. 40,000 people in this stadium. So the Knicks don't have a problem with going into luxury tax because they make big money off of concession and everything else. So I'm not worried about them rolling into luxury tax. Rolling into luxury tax, we should. We haven't been in luxury tax in the last 20 years or something like that. So let's hurry up and go back in luxury tax and pay that money back and with interest.
Yeah. Real talk. Yeah, and like I said, only thing that affects is when it's time to wheel and deal down the line. See, that's why I'm hoping they don't go there, because then when it's time to wheel and deal down the line, you're gonna have to sacrifice so much to get out of the tax. You might won't be able to get the player you want. Blah blah blah. But I'm good at where they at. I think if they did get them, well, one thing about the trade with Derrick Rose and Fournier and you sitting out almost $37 million. Because Fournier Rose is 32 alone. Then you got $2 million from Quentin Grimes. You got $2 million from McBride. That's about $36 million. You know what I mean? Then you throw it all on first round picks. They equal to what, 2 to 5 million, whatever the case may be. So I think it'd be interesting. I like that one. D Cool, I also like that as well. Fournier, Rose, McBride, 5 firsts and 2 seconds. I love that. And they got a plethora of second round picks. So you're 100% right with that. You might could throw that, and we forget about that. We got a bunch of second round picks. You could relinquish one of the first and throw in some seconds. You never know. I think either way it go, I think they'd be in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm 100% with less players and more picks. We got a lot of picks, and we're not going to be able to bring those picks into fruition. So I think the best thing that we need to do is to try to move off of some of those picks, especially 23. When these contracts start, that's when we need to relinquish those picks, 23, 24, 25, 26. Those, if we can move some of those picks within the 26 to 27, I think it'd be a great time to do that because we may not have a lot of our own picks, but we'll still have picks from other people. You know what I mean? So, and that's the wheel and deal. You know what I mean? Some of these protected picks that we got in 3 years, they'll be right under the top 10 picks. So that'd be great as well. You know what I mean? We have some things that we can put together that even with these heavily protected picks this year, in 3 years, they're not as heavily protected as they was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The pick that we have now, I think we have 1 or 2 picks that are protected to the 14th. But by the time they get to 26, they're top 10. You know what I mean? And those are things that we can move with and move on and make some things happen in the future and stuff like that. I don't want to get, like you said, I really don't want to get too much into the luxury tax and stuff like that. But if we make a trade, giving up a lot of players, we're going to have to pick up a lot of people to fill in these spots. 3 to 4 people, maybe even 5 people, depending on how many people we give up. But I'm 100% with giving less players and more picks. Even if we give 6 first round and 2 second rounds or 3 second rounds, I'm 100% with that. The more picks we give up, the less players we give out. You know what I mean? Because we still have to fill this roster out before the season begins.
Yeah, hey KJ, it's interesting to me because for me is you're gonna this. Like I said, I start a lineup alone. If just projected, if you give RJ close to 30, our projected salary cap for the starting 5 is 129 million. Let's even take that down to 125 million. If you give RJ 25 million, now that makes a big difference. That $5 million because now you able to bring in another player to fill a roster because you're going to bring Keels up and Ferrion up, obviously. So you're going to be in that 12-man situation. Now you still can go out there and get some guys with $1 million, $2 million contracts, whatever, to fill out the roster. Let's per se. You might even bring the guy. What's his name? The guard that was there, Montero. You could put guys like that. Him and Jeffrey. You could throw them on a roster because your starting 10 is your main 10 is deep. But at the same time, we can wheel and deal with a lot of people. But the salary cap is what's going to matter, and I do think that we're in a position to do it one way or the other. I'm not really concerned, KJ. I think we'd be all right though.
Absolutely. Again, it's one of these things, guys. The Knicks have young assets. You brought Kills in Montero. Yeah, they're still young, they're still raw, but you know what? Maybe in year 2 they maybe get better than McBride and Grimes. I don't think so for Grimes, but I'm just saying, look what we drafted these players. Look at a guy like McBride. We drafted him in the year 2021. It was a 36th pick in the second round. We drafted Grimes in the first round with the 25th pick. So really, we're growing to love these guys, but they weren't in the top 10. They weren't the top 10 guys, but they're nice NBA pieces. So again, what are we really losing? If we get a guy like a Donovan, we know what we got in Donovan Mitchell. So, again, it's one of those things. That starting 5, you give me a Donovan Mitchell, a Brunson, a RJ, a Julius, and a Mitchell Robinson that's going to be here for the next 3 to 4 years. We're talking Golden State Warriors status right now. Look at that team. We're still trying to catch up. And so, again, we always get on here and we talk about the Knicks got to strike big. Yes, we haven't been over luxury tax, but it's time to go into it. Right. Knicks is New York City. They got money. They only got the money. Make it happen. And the way these guys will and deal, they'll get these picks back. If not all of them, they'll get half of these picks back in the near future. So again, we bring in a guy like McBride. I mean, not McBride. We bring in a guy like Mitchell here because this is what these guys are paid for. And to me, it settles the fan base down. And now, guess what? We finally have that star that we all wanted for. We always talk about point guard, point guard, point guard. Now we have a whole bunch of point guards, but now it's trying to be that big fish. Because guess what Donovan Mitchell's going to do, Devon Shaw? He's going to attract even more people that's going to want to come in.
Make
So
the
the Knicks
bridge.
team knows what they're doing, and we got to give them their just due and let it happen. But to me, I think Donovan Mitchell will be here by the end of August, before September.
I believe that. I think he'd be in the building, man. It's almost like he was destined to be here, man. I just really believe that. I'm gonna go back to something that people never forget. And remember back when we had the thing going on with, I think it was either George Floyd or Tamara, not Tamara, what's the young lady who got in Louisville, the young lady who got killed by the cops. Taylor, am I right? Was it Breonna? Well, whatever her name is. Yeah. Donovan Mitchell, he had made a tweet about that out in Utah, and the Utah area did not like that. Because Utah like Mormon country, and Donovan Mitchell really they feel like he was doing a blah 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 whatever thing. I don't want to put it all out there because it's not a political show, but that was the writing on the wall. Do you see Donovan Mitchell starting to wear all the New York gear? Donovan Mitchell was dead. His father works in the Met organization. This cat is destined to be in New York.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
hey, Devon. Hey, real quick, because I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat talk about the Melo. Yes, we did trade those assets for Melo, but at the time, the Knicks didn't have all these nice pieces that Melo. Imagine if Melo had a Mitchell Robinson, a Julius Randle with this team already right now. We didn't have that here.
Yeah.
We had Tyson Chandler. We had the other pieces. So again, to me, that the statement is, and I guess everybody's opinion, their own opinion, but Melo didn't have what this team has now. That again, go ahead. I'm sorry for chiming. I just had to chime in.
No, you're right. You're right about that. I'm gonna jump in with you too on that one too. We didn't have that, and to say another thing, this is not the same regime. This is not the same team that made that trade, because I believe, and I'm just saying this from just being a Knicks fan. I like Leon Rose the way he's willing and dealing right now. He is not going to get sucker punched. He is not going to get punched in his face. He is not going to just bend over and be like, all right, let's do this. He ain't doing that, man. This guy has been, since he's been here with the Knicks, he has changed the culture of this team, man. And a lot of we missed out on a couple of trades at the trade deadlines and stuff like that, but we brung in players. We didn't make no real major moves on drafts, but now we 11 first round picks and 11 second round picks right now. Right now we then moved 3 guys that we've been chiming about. Brunson, not Brunson. I'm sorry, Kemba, Noel, and Burks. We moved them to get Brunson right now. He is moving the team forward, man. And if no one is paying attention to some of these things that this guy is doing, man, if he could pull off this deal, I am sure that they are going to be mentioned to be the front office of the year.
It's so funny because on Nick was told we like to put the facts, but I don't think Knicks fans even remember that full trade. Guess what? KJW Vince has that full trade up. So in that deal with Melo in 2011 with Denver, for the people that's talking in the chat, listen, the New York Knicks sent Anthony Knicks included Denver teammates Chauncey Billups, Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter, and Ronaldo Balkman, joining him in New York City in exchange for, now get this, Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Gallinari, and Timothy Mozgov in the 2014 first round draft pick, and along with 2 others. So again, if you look at some of those names that the Knicks sent away, what really did the Knicks lose?
Right. Only one of them.
Right.
That was Gallinari. That's it.
Yeah. So we talk about a guy that's a superstar that's averaging over 24 points in the West, that's been here for quite some time and is still young in his prime. I mean, there's no comparison with that trade. I just had to throw that out there, Devon.
Hey, real quick, just to piggyback off that, think about this here. And that whole Melo trade, only 2 of them still in the league. Carmelo Anthony and Della Gallinari. That's it. 2 of them left in the league after that Melo trade. Della Gallinari, who just went to Boston this year. Carmelo Anthony, who was averaging 13 and change for the Lakers last year. and had a good season last year at 30 something years old. And so but this like then y'all say this is different. You know what I mean? We giving away guys that can help another team and picks opposed to giving out players. I just think it weakened the team for us. But I think if Chauncey Billups wouldn't have went down, if Chauncey Billups wouldn't have got hurt in that first regular season, that playoff game against Boston, where him and Marvin Steinmeier, the Knicks would have took the boys out. Melo was dropping like 40-something, 15 and like 6 on them cats for the whole series. I'm like, man, can you imagine with Chauncey Billups and Marty started with a punch the fire extinguisher, my man would have hurt his back. The Knicks would have took Boston out that. Then the first year Carmelo got here. You know what I mean? And so now it's a different thing, man. But Donovan Mitchell changed the landscape of what the Knicks gonna do. If he come here, he changed the landscape, everybody. So let's hope that it happens, man. That's going to be some exciting news to look forward to moving forward. I really think. And here's another thing I want to put out there before we had that conversation. No, why I'm not worried about Danny Ainge fleecing the Knicks. Look if you don't have no confidence in Leon Rose, look what Leon Rose did last year. He sent a guy who out of the league, Dennis Smith Jr., got a second round pick back with Derrick Rose for my man Dennis Smith Jr.
Right.
Come on now, he got a pick and Derrick Rose for my man Dennis Smith Jr. If y'all think the front office now don't be willing dealing, something wrong with y'all. Danny ain't fleecing nobody. Not them cats. Not Scott Perry them ain't doing that. They just gonna make sure that, like he said, that's why they backed off the first deal. They said we don't want to break up that what we trying to build as a contender. That's why they said that. He said, listen, we turned down the first the deal because we don't want to break up this contending team we trying to build. Them cat, and you know what? Ain't no other team out there too many got what the Knicks got to offer. Unless you're gonna, somebody got to will and deal with a third team and blah 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 blah. But who cares? I think the Knicks in a good spot. Our front office is legit, man. I got to really say that, man. These cats got connection. They get you stuck like glue. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes, man. Going into training camp. Let's hope this thing comes to reality, man. And everybody that we talking about to be here. But let me ask the chat question. Sean Powell in the chat. If you had to give up Cam Reddish or Quentin Grimes, which one you giving up? To the chat and everybody. If you had to give up one of them two in this deal, which one would you want to give up? Cam Reddish or Quentin Grimes if you have to give him up in this deal to get Donovan Mitchell?
If you're talking to me, Divine, I think, and that's a hard decision because both those guys are one on the team. But for me right now, if we had to put one person in that trade, I think maybe Cam Reddish. I think Cam maybe, and that's like 49 to 52% right there because I think Cam Reddish on that second unit is going to be something special, and I would love to see Cam Reddish with Obi Toppin and IQ really run that second unit. See how they run the second unit. That second unit, you have Cam Reddish, IQ, Obi Toppin, and Hardenstein backing up. So we would probably, if we still holding on to Derrick Rose, then that'll probably be that second unit right there. Grimes would probably have to play like the small forward position. But because I said 49 to 52, Cam Reddish is not Cam Reddish on that team with Obi Toppin and the same players is something to be special too. The only reason why I say Grimes, because I think Grimes is going to have a real breakout year this year. I think Grimes is going to be that light in that fall to bring us home in that second unit. So I like Cam Reddish. I'm Quentin Grimes.
What about you, KJ?
Oh, I'm getting Grimes. I mean, not Grimes. Cam Reddish out there. I'm saving money on Grimes right now for the next couple of years. So it is a business. And then don't forget, we would have to pay Reddish next year, depending on how he does. So it's like, you know what? But I'll take a more of a gamble on Grimes than Cam Reddish right now.
Okay.
What about you, Divine?
Yeah. You know what? For me, because of the salary situation, I would keep Grimes. But player wise, I just take Cam Reddish. I just think that you never go wrong with height. You know what I mean? You never go wrong with height. I just think that if God forbid we get an injury like Obi Toppin or somebody, Cam Reddish can come in and do his thing. You know what I mean? We got a lot of guards, I would say. And I think Grimes is gonna be special, but Cam Reddish is a talent though, and I just do think that. If one of our frontline guys happen to go out, I think Cam Reddish can come in there and we won't miss a heartbeat because he's that talented. But other than that, from a salary cap standpoint, if Quentin Grimes would to go and get hurt, you still got Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, R.J. Barrett. If Emmanuel quickly is still here, you got like 4 guys that wouldn't even be an issue. But let's say if R.J. go down, you're going to need a Cam Reddish, or Ryan Randall go down, or Obi go down. That's the only reason I would take Cam Reddish. If for and he's a talented dude too. I mean, I think he fits well with the Knicks. So it's interesting. You can't go wrong either way, I guess, guys.
Right. 49-51.
You can't go wrong either way. But it's gonna be that's something they're gonna have to deal with. And like Frank Monto said, I don't think they want Cam Reddish because they actually think about the same thing we talking about now. That contract year, they gonna if he ball out, they're gonna have to pay him. But I vowed them, why wouldn't you pay him? You know what I mean? But unless they want to pick their own talent. Yeah, I like Cam Reddish, man. I think he was just about to come into his own, man. But that athleticism and that height and he can get down, man. So it's tough, man. I like Grimes too. Grimes showed me something in summer league. But I just think at that position we so solid. You know what I mean? That makes me wonder, if we had to do one way or the other. I'm good 50-50 with you guys. I think the Knicks fan base probably 50-50 too.
I'm 49-51, man. I got 50 Wilberson for Grimes. I think Grimes is going. But I see your point, Divine. That point is a very, very valid point, man. Because if someone else goes down, Grimes may not be able to fill into the position. But Reddish can play a little bit of small ball 4, and he can play the 3. And if you really need him to, I think he can also play the 2. If you really force him into that position, I think he can play the 2 as well. So Cam Reddish is a more viable position player, set position player that he can play maybe 3 of the positions. And I think Grimes is more of a straight 2, or maybe a 3 on a 3 on a smaller lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AJ, am I saying it right? J Pap. I think with the acquisition of Donovan Mitchell, I think we get over 50. I know we had already projected in north of 40 with Jalen Brunson. We get Donovan Mitchell. I think we definitely can go up in the 50 wins.
We got big time shooting then. We got big time shooting now. Oh, that's what we lacked in some of those games where we started losing the league last year. When we lost 7 games last year by less than 5 points, where we had the lead. We lost, I think it was 7 games that we lost last year when we had the lead, and we end up losing by less than 5 points. So with those 2 guys on the team, I don't see no way that really could happen this year, man.
Yeah, real talk, real quick. Agent Super Argo, dead on him with that one. I think Cam Reddish in the contract year, he's gonna kill it. I think he got to try to play for that bag. That boy probably be getting his game on this year. Quentin Grimes already locked up for the next 2-3 years. That young man in the contract year, look at how Julius Randle played in the contract year. Look how R.J. Barrett played in the contract year. Look at these cats in the contract. Look how Jalen Brunson played in the contract year. Cam Reddish is gonna ball out whoever he with. If he ain't with the Knicks, whoever with, that cat gonna ball out because he don't want to be the Kevin Knoxes of the world. He don't want to be these other guys. He want to make sure he get his money. He's talented like that. So I do think this. Like I said, when I see him sitting next to Leon Rose in summer league, I was like, okay. And they sit down there and they analyzing the game. That tells you something. They believe in that dude. They probably, to me, let's say if you don't move Derrick Rose in this deal, right, and you let Cam Reddish play out this year, when Derrick Rose contract is up, you give it to Cam Reddish. Let's get a 13 million. Give Derrick Rose contract to Cam Reddish.
Right.
That's all. You know what I mean? And now he got him a 13-year. He got like a $13, $15 million deal like Mitchell Robinson, and maybe with a team option to improve himself even more. But at least you lock the man up for another 3 or 4 years. That team, the Knicks got a solid athletic team down there, good talent. I hope they can keep that boy down here, man. I would say keep him in Grimes, but I know it's so hard to do.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. But they got a good bunch of stuff down there to roll with. I'm excited about the way the Knicks is popping off, KJ. We just got to keep this thing going for sure.
Absolutely. Again, we're better than we were a month ago. A month ago, we didn't know. We had no money. We didn't know what pick we was going to pick and who we got. Guys, I mean, it was like JC, it's all good just a week ago. This is all good like a month ago. With indignation. Now we're talking about bringing in a superstar in here. So, look how it changed in the coaching for us. We're just changing. And as fans, we just got to go with it because these guys they're not here to hurt us. They already made this team way better than they were in the last 2 years. We got a point guard that's improving, a point guard that played with a superstar. So again, and now we get another superstar on top of that. Listen, the Knicks is here to stay, and we the only team in New York City. We gotta get that Brooklyn team out of here, man. They scrambling over there. So it's about the Knicks. Keep that orange and blue going,
Yeah.
and we're closer to a championship than we were ever before. So
Yep.
especially we bring this guy here. I'm telling you, Devon and Shy, the price for New York Knicks tickets now. Whew,
Man, jerseys and everything is
and,
skyrocketing now.
and that's
People,
another thing. We go to these
everything.
chain stores, right? They don't have no Knicks merchandise in these stores. Now watch all the merchandise, especially we get a guy like Spider Mitchell. Watch all the chain stores you go to now. All the chain stores that have
Yeah.
Knicks stuff now.
You're gonna see those half-bit Brooklyn fans that really wasn't Brooklyn fans, but they live in Brooklyn. They're gonna come back to New York. They're gonna come back to the Knicks. I like that
Exactly.
thing right there, Frank Mantos.
True, me too.
Those 23, 25, 27. That's exactly how I figure it out too. That's exactly how I figured we could give them all three of those first round unprotected.
Yeah.
Devon, can you pick that? Yeah, I was about to say, put that back up. I like that right there, Frank Murphy. So that's the same way I'm thinking 23, 25, and 27. You got to give it every other year. We give all three of them. And by 27, that's exactly around the time. What's this, 22, 23 season right now. So they will be right there around the year 27, right as that pick is about to come into fruition. That's exactly what I would do.
Hey, check it out. Here go the game plan. New York Knicks fan. I'm about to hit y'all with something. We gonna do this thing. And by the time RJ and all them about to run out, then we gonna get Cayenne Anthony. Then the Carmelo Anthony son will be ready by then. Then he come to New York. Born and
Him,
raised in New York. I'm gonna tell you something. Melo's son gonna be the real deal. That boy. Now I was watching that boy play. Man, listen.
I was watching some of his
He
games.
gonna be nice. But then we roll this thing out with these guys. We got a couple of years down the line. We shuffle all this stuff, and then man, I think that it's gonna be all right, guys. I really do. I'm excited about the season moving forward. We just gotta, just maintain, do what we do. Tom Thibodeau got now. What they think is so interesting to me, it's not even no excuse for him. You bringing Donovan Mitchell, it ain't even no excuse for Tom Thibodeau in the front office. So I do think it's gonna be fun, man. I think these cats gonna ball out in New York, man. This ain't the Knicks from last year. This ain't no Evan Fournier and Alex Burks and all these cats, man. This is a different team out here. Young, athletic, all of them can get down. They all can play. They all talented. They all two-dimensional players almost. What I mean, they can put the ball on the floor. Jalen Brunson he a three-dimensional score. Outside, inside, mid-range game. Donovan Mitchell all-around player. R.J. Barrett inside, outside can get it. Julius Randle inside, outside can get it. And you got the block next monster down there. Lob threat, offensive rebounder, juggernaut. This ain't no sloppy team, man. Real talk, so they all got their money. They ain't worried about nothing. They like, well, we all got paid. Let's go and show and prove. And once you get that bag, you can show and prove. And I think they're going to show and prove. So it's going to be fun to see, man. I'm happy about this thing moving forward. Real talk, man. When the news drop, we be on the forefront of it. You already know Knicks Real Talk, how we get down. We be on the forefront of it, man. And try to bring out the latest and greatest news we can. In the meantime, tell a friend, man. Knicks Real Talk, we ain't going nowhere. We in the building. Mine, Shaw, KJ, events, chat, everybody. I know how we get down here, man. No hyperbole, we straight facts up in here. You know what I mean? We try to keep it 100 for the fans, man. We all want to beat GM. We ain't the Knicks. We don't know what the Knicks gonna do, to be honest.
Facts.
We don't know what. All we putting out is possibilities. We don't got no inside connections. I don't know nobody in the front office yet. Yeah, I'm working on all that stuff. But we just content creators, man, creating content for the fan base, man, and and hoping a lot of stuff going to fruition. But we wise enough to know that this can be, that can be, it can go this way or it can't go that way. But our job as the content creators to put it out there for the fan base, man. You know how we do. We enjoy doing it too. So it's all good, man. But the cats is on fire up in here, man. We can stay here all night, but obviously, I know everybody get on their grind, man, get ready for work the next day and all that. But I just keep an eye on the Donovan Mitchell thing, man. It's gonna be interesting, everybody. I think that's the biggest news we probably coming out of New York in the next week, another week or two, a week or two, whatever. Hopefully, this thing get done one way or the other, and then we can just kind of contemplate about what's gonna happen in training camp, shop hours. So let's hope this Donovan Mitchell thing gets resolved one way or the other.
Yeah, I see. I think these guys are all going to come in here hungry, and I think with a new aspect on the game because now we really have a true point guard here. And if we get Donovan Mitchell as a perennial shooting guard, I think pretty much could make the All Star. See, this is one of the great things about bringing him here this year. And I joked about this with a couple of my friends, man. But if we bring Donovan Mitchell here, you know he's going to strive hard this year to make the playoff team because you know where the playoff game is this year. It's in Utah. So you know he's going to try hard just to try to dunk every ball he can, shoot every short jumper he can, drive to the hole, and make all the great assists that he can to make an All-Star team this year, so he could go back to Utah and live it up with a New York Knicks jersey on his back. So I'm 100% with this team and seeing what they can move forward and try to make this the fan base even stronger because right now. We're not at a divide. We just we're at a crossroads right now because we don't know what the Knicks really are trying to do. There's a lot of things out there about Donovan Mitchell, and it's a great possibility that we could get him. But just keep in the back of your mind that 2.5%, almost 3% chance that none of this deal goes down. Danny Ainge backs out of all contracts, I mean, all trade deals for Donovan Mitchell, and he plays with the Utah Jazz next year.
Yeah. You know what? I think that would be a bad, Shaw Powell and KJ. I think that'd be a bad look on Danny.
Oh, I think it would too. I'm just being
You
hypothetical.
Rudy Gobert, you want Donovan Mitchell in his prime to play with a bunch of nobody, not nobody, but mediocre jokers. He out of there, bro. I mean, that dude is out of there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say 99% Donovan Mitchell won't play the Utah Jazz uniform after all this stuff. I just can't see them doing that to him. You know what I mean? And the owner liked it, Donovan Mitchell. That's why I think he'd be willing to take the New York deal. I think he'd say, listen, man, let the man go home. He's from New York. You know, that's his roots. You know, some people don't have a problem with that because Donovan Mitchell didn't give his all to that organization the year he played there. But I think Danny Ainge would be the laughing stock of the NBA if you don't trade Donovan Mitchell. I think KJ. I think you have smoke out there, man. I mean, just too much smoke. I mean, and and now
this process, he has to just, hey, look, I want out. He got to come out and say it. Use the media to his advantage, and I think if it got to that point, I think he would do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? And I'm not disputing with Shaw Powers. I just think Danny Ainge. I just know that dude. He gonna man. It'll be a bad look at that organization because now you done took away him. You probably get rid of Mike Conley. Now you got me playing with my man. What's his name? Patrick Beverly, Beasley, them Donovan Mitchell. Be like, come on, man, you crazy. He know where he need to be at. And Shop out, he know he need to be in the Mecca, bro. He know he need to be here, man, one way or the other. So let's hope so.
I'm going to play the yin to your yang, KJ. I think Donovan has went to the front office and said something to the front office about where he wants to go, but I don't think he's going to come out and he's a kind of even kill kind of guy, man. You never really see him really too much in an uproar and all that stuff. I think he's really cool with the office and stuff like that. So I think he'll talk to them first and be like, listen, I don't want to make anything public, but I think we need to make this trade with New York. Y'all figure out what players y'all want. I want to go to New York. I don't think he'll make it because then I think Danny Ainge will try to shiest him. Danny Ainge wants to trade him to New York, and they'll take a sucker deal from Miami just to put him somewhere where he might not want to go and not to give him the place that he want to be. Because he's still on contract. He is on contract. They could do what, I mean, literally they could almost do anything they kind of want. If they want to trade him to anybody, they could trade him. He's on contract.
Real talk. Anthony 212, real talk. RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Randall, Mitch, and the MVP type player. I'm watching too, bro. Real talk. That's gonna be a nice spot. Think about it. That's a pretty tough team to guard offensively, though. You ain't double teaming nobody.
You ain't double teaming nobody.
You know what I mean? If Jalen Brunson get in the middle for the New York Knicks, just get in that lane, he got options, dog. I mean, he got 4 options to go to. You know what I mean? And I just think that's a we haven't had it like that. I think they wanted that last year with Kevin Walker and Evan Fournier. But because of Kimber's injury situation and the way it worked out, Alex Burke's not a true point guard. He wasn't pass first. He was more shoot first. Now you got a guy who can do it both ways. And even Donovan Mitchell can get you 5. He averaged 5 or 6 a game. Randall could throw the ball to you when they need to. I think the team gonna be pretty solid, man. If this trade happened, I guess I would say, like, not to beat a dead horse, but I just think that if the trade happened, it'd be pretty solid. I couldn't be more excited about the Knicks move forward. Overnight, we'd be in there getting wild. I mean, we'd be an overnight again wild.
Hey, Devon and Shaw, if we don't get Donovan Mitchell, how do you think the fan base will take it? Do you think we, at this point, are we being teased with the Donovan Mitchell thing if we don't get him right now? Even though we got a Jalen Brunson right now, do you think that we'll be a little bit upset? Well, how would you feel as a Knicks fan?
I wouldn't be mad because of what we did do. We still got a playoff team. And I would let me see what I tell you. I won't be disappointed. I'm gonna be a Knicks fan regardless of what happened. I mean, I'm gonna go on and root for the Knicks. But I just think that when you hear Woj and all these guys, when these guys don't put nothing out there if it ain't got no cement to it. You know what I mean? Like Woj ain't gonna put out Donovan Mitchell to the knowing that he don't know if it's really true. Like him and Shams and all them guys, them two guys really legit about their information. I haven't seen them guys go backwards on something. So I do think that this thing, unless somebody come in here, KJ, and blow the Knicks out the water, and we didn't expect that team to do it, and if somebody beat us with a better deal, then I won't be mad because you can't do nothing about that. It's out of your control. Like somebody coming in with 9 picks, I wouldn't be mad because there ain't nothing you can do about that. The team had a better offer, and they went with that offer. But I wouldn't be disappointed because I like the Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson signing. We still got that means we get to keep a lot of the young talent. Hopefully they can grow, and so we good either way. That's what I would say. I wouldn't be mad.
I say that's why I say this 2.53% chance of maybe it not happening because in the event that we do not get Donovan Mitchell, I believe this team is still a good team. I want us to be a good team, and I think that we will be a good team moving forward. I just hope that the things that are going on now happens a little earlier so we can reformulate the rest of our team. Because if it's not going to go down, now we have to look to try to move 2 more players that we talked about before, the Evan Fourniers and the D Rose, to bring somebody else back here to lessen the roster spots because we have a Fournier, Reddish, and Grimes are the 3 cogs. If we don't move anybody, those are the 3 players that's going to have to really fight for somewhat tight minutes because if Fournier is not starting and he goes to the bench, then he has to contend with Reddish. And if Fournier is supposedly to start, he has to contend with Grimes. You know what I mean? So Fournier is the odd man out. So even if we do not acquire Donovan Mitchell, we still have to try to do something with Fournier to make the team a viable team for the next year to come. I think we still have time to move Fournier, and that's where if we stay pat and we don't get Donovan Mitchell, which I hope we do. I wish we do. I don't hope. I just wish we could have a superstar on our team. But if we don't, we have to still try to formulate a plan to move Fournier so Reddish and Grimes can have the starting position, and Fournier and Reddish can have that 3 position in the second unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just think the Knicks are right now, they're looking for a lot of interchangeable pieces from the first and second unit. And right now, survival defense is only strong survive. And we have to get out of the realm, and even myself, out of Knicks fans, of liking the player and wanting the player to play like Dukes of Pride. I love him. I want him to play back and forth. But for the betterment of this team, does he fit what the Knicks really want to do in a player of sacrificing to get Donovan Mitchell? And if it's the pick between him and Donovan Mitchell, I'm going to choose Donovan Mitchell all day because it's for the betterment of the team. That's going to give somebody else another opportunity. And guess what? And we all seen it. Look at the way Tibbs plays the rotation.
Facts.
You're not cracking that rotation unless, God forbid, somebody gets injured, somebody's hurt. I mean, we said that hurt, or somebody just can't play, whatever the case may be. So that rotation, 9 to 10 man rotation, and that's it. That's how you keeping it. And let somebody needs rest. So again, I'm okay with letting Deuce McBride grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's only good for his career too. Because if you think about it, if you trade him to Utah, he gets to play.
all the
He
time.
gets to play because they're on a rebuild, and he might be a key. He might go out there and establish himself being a backup there and get his money. At this rookie contract, you never know. But the way we probably constructed right now, if Jonathan Mitchell come to New York, it's going to be a lot of cats just not going to play. And I think, like I said, that front line, that front starting five is pretty much solidified. You can tell me that ain't solidified. Jalen Brunson, him, R.J. Barrett, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. And then but either way it go, I think the Knicks will be good. I think it's gonna be a really good season for us, man. Like I said, I think Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell is night and day over Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker at this state of mind, at this state where Kemba Walker was now.
All
And
day, every day.
do you know that? Put like this here. Jalen Brunson averaged 16 a game last year. Donovan Mitchell averaged 24, 25. That's dead near 41 points. Fournier averaged 14 and Kemba Walker averaged 9, 10. So you talk about a 20-point, almost 20 to 18-point swing in your front in your backcourt. You know what I mean? So and you're more athletic, not a turnstile on defense. If Jalen Brunson, if Donovan Mitchell come here with Jalen Brunson, you cannot tell me the Knicks won't win twice more games. Not twice more, they would be more better, way more better than Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker and Dallas Burke. That's all I can say. I'll be real with you on that. So I think that team is easy 50 wins plus. Easy 50 wins plus. Because that's a good starting five for me, Shop Powers. There's a lot of talent in that front lineup. And they are proven guys. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have a problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I believe with these guys that we bring in, like you said, man. I was saying this a couple of chats and stuff like that. Do you think Donovan Mitchell defense is worse than Evan Fournier's, or do you think Evan Fournier? And whose defense is who would you rather have as your starting shooting guard, Evan Fournier or Donovan Mitchell, and whose defense is a little better? Now, Evan Fournier, he great shooter. I will not take nothing away from him. I like Evan Fournier, but he grabs no rebounds. Donovan Mitchell grabs about 5 rebounds a game. Fournier, I think he was almost 1 steal a game. Donovan Mitchell was 3 steals a game. That means his hands is quicker, his arms is longer, and he plays good. He plays good defense up front. So in those two aspects, aside from the scoring, I would pull for. I think upgrade is an understatement to saying Donovan Mitchell taking over Evan Fournier's spot. That's an understatement.
Yeah, okay, for me, check it out. Donovan Mitchell way more athletic. Fournier can't even barely jump off the ground compared to him. You know what I'm saying? Think about Fournier numbers now. 14 a game, right? 2 rebounds, 1 or 2 assists a game at the 2 guard spot in the NBA. You cannot have that at the 2 guard spot.
Not as a
1 or
starter.
2 rebounds, 1 or 2 assists from your 2 guard player. And he only give you 14, 15 a game. With Donovan Mitchell was 20-something, 5 and 5 and 6, or 5 and 4 and 5, whatever. So
it's everything in business that you want. A superstar, somebody that's gonna put people in the seats, which we don't need a superstar to put people in the seats. We come in anyway. We see less. So you put a guy like Donovan Mitchell in the Madison Square Garden. That is front office mayhem. That is everything you want in marketing 101. You want a super. You have a guaranteed superstar. I mean, everything is going to happen for him. So again, mommy, daddy, I want to see Donovan Mitchell. I want to see Evan Fournier. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on.
This is at the end of the day, a guy that's going to keep driving the market up in New York City. And now we finally have a superstar to promote at Madison Square Garden. That's the best part of it right now. So again, get him here. It's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely, my brother. You couldn't have said it better myself, man. Right on point with that, man. So it's a lot to be interesting to look forward to, man. We don't know how it's all going to pan out, but I do think Donovan Mitchell wins up in New York. I think it's inevitable. I think it's like you say, destiny. Like it was like Nas said, it was written. So, it was written, bro. I didn't think this is. It just these guys. I'm happy about this. The reason why, because I'm glad to see some of these guys who from this area. Because sometimes you can go to a place, guys, because you're not familiar with the surroundings. it's hard to adapt. Donovan Mitchell know what it is to play in New York. You know what I mean? He know what it's like to play here. Jalen Brunson know what it is to play in New York. R.J. Barrett, know what it is to play in New York. All these guys, they know. You know what I mean? So we don't have to worry about too much of that stuff, man. But I think it's gonna be fun, man. And y'all stay locked in the Knicks Real Talk, man. We make sure that we bring y'all all the headlines, all the details, whatever we get the news, we bring it to you. Not we being here doing what we do best, man. There's content created for the fan base. But we're gonna get out of here in a few minutes, man, because I know everybody got to get on Monday, get on their grind. I know my brothers got to get on their grind as well. But summer league, it didn't pan out. Look at the positive thing from the summer league. We didn't win the chip, but I've seen a lot of growth and development in a lot of young guys. But you also did see the difference between some guys who played in the NBA and guys who didn't play in the NBA. That's why the best players on the floor tonight was Jericho Sims, McBride, and Grimes. They played in the NBA already. All the other guys, they didn't play, so they couldn't handle it. But salute to the Portland Trailblazers for winning it. But overall, great summer for the Knicks, man. Great so far, great all season for the Knicks. To be honest with you, Donovan Mitchell just solidified it to me. But regardless of what happened with Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks had a great off season. I'm looking forward to this team coming to the training camp, man, and see what these cats do to get it popping and in regular season shot power.
I mean, my big thing from this summer league is we got to see the three guys that we had on the team last year, progress. They look better than they did a little bit in the ending of the season last year. You've seen Grimes recover from that kneecap surgery. Slip kneecap or thingamajig that he had. I forgot the exact name of it right now, but he came back and he played very well in the league, in the summer league. McBride played some good games in there, very gritty, very defensive minded, and we see Sims jump out the jump through the rim almost every time that he got the ball, and made some moves that we didn't see that he had last year. He tried to do some dribbles to the hole, try to do some up fakes, did some different things I didn't see him do too much last year. So that was also encouraging. This might been, we talk about the summer league, but these two guys that we seen in summer league, McBride and Grimes, they might have been, showcasing their skills to be moved in this off season. And I'm hopeful. I like Grimes, man. I wish we could keep him. I hope that we could keep him. But if it's between Grimes or Reddish, like I said, it's 49-51. I like Grimes, man. I think Grimes is going to be a shining star this year. So let's see what happens, man. Let's get this thing done, man. I don't know if I can make it to the end of August and stuff like that. I don't know if I can make it to the end of August, man. So I hope they can make this thing done. Hopefully sometime this week or something like that real soon, man. I hope we can make it before the end of July, man, because, sheesh, the end of August, you're talking about another 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks? Oh, my God.
Hey, listen, hold up, bro. The Knicks might be your wedding present.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad if they pull them off on in that week. That'd be beautiful.
Wouldn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. KJ, my brother, talk to me, man.
Hey, man, look, as always, I'm sorry for coming a little late, but
bro.
As always, Nick Real Talk family, please like, share, subscribe, keep spreading the lovely word about this channel as we continue to keep giving you content 24/7, 7 days a week. We giving you all the content in the world. Keep it up. Like, share, subscribe. Until the next time, Shad Devon. Nick Real Talk. Salute.
Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Thank you.
Hey, man, listen to the beautiful show. I appreciate every single one of you cats and ladies, whoever came up here, man, always supporting the show, man, always showing us love, keeping us on the forefront of this thing, man. There's a lot of content created out there, a lot of good shows out there. You know how the brothers do it down there in NBK everywhere. Blanche, Tibb, all my brothers and sisters all over the place, Queen, Court in the building, or everybody, man. We a big conglomerate, man, this Knick fan base. We got a lot of great content creators who drop a lot of great knowledge out here. And, and it's always good to know that, no matter where you go, you can go into a Knicks feed and get some good content. That's what it's all about. So salute to all the content creators out there for keeping the fan base on the forefront of this Knicks stuff. But y'all already know what it is with Knicks Real Talk. You know how we do here, man. We fan first and foremost. And after that, it's our job to make sure we bring out the content. We love doing it, man. Real talk, man. And to the chat is where it's at. You know how I feel about you, brother. Without y'all, ain't no Knicks real talk. And that's real talk. Without you cats, ain't nothing worth doing all this. You know what I mean? But because of you guys, keep us up in y'all thoughts, man. And whenever we throw a notification, y'all come in here and holler at us and let us grow with you guys. So we appreciate y'all. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. All that good stuff. Go out there and get on your grind, man. School, work, or play, whatever your endeavor may be. First and foremost, be safe, man. And take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your week. Y'all look for the notification. We'll be on when something pop off. For the next couple of days, we'll hop back on, man. When we get y'all some more content out there. But in the meantime, Shaw Powers, KJ Events, chat is where it's at. Knicks Real Talk. We out of here, man. Yes, sir, man. Salute to everybody y'all in here so heavy today. My man Quality Jumper, Suit Argo, my man Beat Still Alive, my man Dahi. I hope I got that right. Frank Massa, everybody, Elton Lee, the Professor, Johnny Davis, Golden, my man 78. If I'm saying that right, everybody, man. Y'all keep it going, man. Real Talk. Anthony 212 in the building up with us again always. Chef Nick, you already know what it is, man. Julian, everybody. Super Argo. I said again, my man Will of Thrill, Colorado, always in the building supporting. Frank Montos in West Palm Beach. I know how I know. Y'all been doing this with us for a minute. Wendell Keller, appreciate you coming in and tell us what we do here, man. Eddie Alvarez, everybody, man. I go through y'all. I know there's a lot of y'all up here tonight. My man Broski Bear, salute to you. Everybody, man. So salute to y'all, man. We definitely holler at y'all on the next episode, man. Real talk. I'm out of here. Shaw Powers, KJ Events. Next Real Talk, man. Let's get it, man. Peace.
Let's get it.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ Events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena. With the click, that's the conglomerate. Nick's Real Talk, we're real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage, be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in tempo. As they took my game plan, that my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the things we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We drink the logo when there's airspace that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 Dexys on the court, looking pretty legit. I say the truth to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.